Yeah, that's all right. Hey sis, it's me, Courtney. I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to hop in, and if you're already here, just share, because y'all know sometimes the notification is a little bit slow. So yeah, give y'all a few moments. Maybe by the time this song ends, and then we'll hop into today's topic, which basically I'm talking about. Girl, I got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Okay, like thoughts about Family Day, how I've been manifesting recently, and a whole lot. So once a few more people get in, then we will jump into the combo. So vibe out with me for a moment. Lay down. I hope y'all been drinking your water. I need some chopsticks though. Hold up. He let me write this in. So I trusted him. All over. This is my favorite. You get this message for. This is my favorite chopstick. It's so moisturizing and it smells. He turned me out and asked nobody got the key to my heart. I wonder if he loves me. Well, he told me so. He said that he won't let me go, but I still don't know. Why do fools fall in love? Wanna tell me? I need to know. Tell me. Some don't. Y'all see that glow? And I don't even got no makeup on. I'm gonna do first round, and we'll have to. I'm gonna take y'all back today.
There's not a lot of people that got that. Like, just even being around people, it don't matter how popular it is, they know real stars. Which is why, like, these people don't shake me. Like, I can't get started. Maybe you know I'm keeping
What is that? What is that? How y'all gonna do me like that? Hold up, y'all. Oh, they started tripping. I was really feeling that mix. Let me.
Future Beats.
I thought they said H-Town. I was gonna say.
All brought to you by Joe K. This is Selection Radio.
Rider. Hi, welcome in. We'll be hopping in soon. I want to give y'all a chance to hop in. I give everyone a chance to hop in. That one. You gonna play or not? You gonna play or not? Dun, 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 dun. Hi, loves. Hello. Girl, I'm on Lisa's computer and I don't know how to work this fully. Okay, we can rock with that. Yes, I made it. Well, not to where you think. I'm from Korea. But you never had. You keep it, but you never had. So yes, I did make this green juice. I will share the recipe as soon as we get started. I actually made it with a blender. I didn't know I have okay, sis. We in action. So, let me breathe, honey. Let me breathe. Okay, so we in action. But I feel like I can get you down Hey, honey love. Okay, y'all. So if you see me looking this way, I'm also on live on my Instagram as well. And if they have any questions as well, I will be responding to them too. And my boo April, she basically asked about my green juice. I know a lot of times y'all be asking me about how my skin stays so clear as well. Now, granted, I've never had any type of breakouts or anything. Like, I honestly genuinely have really good genetics in my family, and you know that chocolatey skin, honey, it be coming through. So aside from that, I do have like a cleansing morning routine for my face, but it's so simple. Like, it's very, very simple. However, I also drink a lot of water. okay? And I love smoothies and I love juices. So this particular green juice, I made this with spinach. So I just put a handful of spinach. Hey, honey. It's 1:02 p.m. here right now. So I feel like Central Standard Time, it's about a 14-hour difference, I believe. So this green juice is with, excuse me, and let me breathe. I feel like with my ascension right now, I've been having a lot of like shortness of breath lately. Like I hope that makes sense. I can't really explain that to y'all right now, but that's also something that's been happening with my ascension. So this green juice has a handful of spinach, and I cut up some ginger. I didn't put a lot of ginger because ginger is very, like, it's a strong root, so you really don't need much. The more you put, just the stronger you'll be able to taste the ginger. And I chopped up some apples. And what else I put in it? Oh, I had this pomelo juice. It was actually like a combination, but it was 100% natural juice because right now I'm fasting. So I'm not doing anything, like literally first 4 days of my fast, I only did water. And then yesterday, before I left Busan, I just kind of felt myself getting sick and I can't condone it. So I was like, let me put some vitamin C in my system. And I bought a couple of juices. Like I bought a pomegranate juice, orange juice, and this pomelo juice, and it was just so great. And I made sure that they were natural. So I had some left over, so I basically put a little bit of that in there. So basically a handful of spinach, ginger, a bit of an apple. Like I didn't even use a whole apple. I just cut off a piece. And I put about a cup of this pomelo juice in it. And I just blended it up. And the way that you make the way that you make juices, if you only have a blender, is by basically getting a strainer. Okay? Like you just get a strainer, something along the lines of this. Now, granted, I am going to end up buying one that's small. Like, this isn't mine. I'm staying with my friend Lisa right now. So this is hers. So I didn't need to get one immediately off the bat. However, before I leave here, I'm going to go to this place called Daiso, Japan. If you've ever been to Southeast Asia, you've seen this place. They have everything. So I am going to get a smaller, like, travel size because it's so great. Like, especially if you like doing juices, but you don't want to take, like, a juicer with you, like, while you're traveling, because they can be a lot. It takes up a lot of space. Or if you just, you just want a juice and you like, I don't want to invest in a really good juicer yet. Basically, you just blend everything up in your blender. And y'all know I have a personal size blender that I bought before I left home. I don't know if y'all know. Do y'all know that? Do y'all know that? Let me show y'all real quick. Hold up. So this is my blender that I travel with. Now, it was kind of frustrating at first when I first bought it, just like taking this plastic piece off, which I'm not. I decided I'm no longer taking the plastic piece off because you always have to line it up a specific type of way so that it'll beep and then it'll, so it'll move. Like it has to be in a specific position, and sometimes constantly taking the plastic piece off is kind of irritating. So if you are looking to get a personal blender, look out for that. Like if you're, read the reviews. If anybody has a photo, not a photo, like a video of like the particular blender, make sure you check that out before you purchase, because that was one thing that I didn't like, but then I kind of found a way around it. So yeah, I basically blend everything up and then I just strain it into a strainer, into a cup underneath it. And then there you go. You got your juice, period. Okay. So that worked. Hi, Zaina. Zaina said I decided to come home instead. Oh, I need to make some of that. I need that. I saw in one of your lives, I think, our videos. Oh, yeah, I think I did a live at one point when I first got this blender, when I still was in I feel like I was still at home at that time because I just bought this when I just went home, and so I did like a bit of an unboxing. So you might have seen it then, and then I did a second live. I feel like both of these were on Instagram though. Like one, ooh, I was shortness of breath. Like y'all, if I need a moment to just breathe, bear with me. So yeah, let me change this tune because maybe this is too fast of a tune too. And it's kind of, let's move to that. I need something a little bit more chill. So after that, I also did a video about like making my first smoothie with it because I wanted to see like, is this thing gonna actually work or no? And if it's not, let me know ASAP so I can get another one before I left. But it worked fine aside from that one, you know, twisting issue. So yeah, this is like a great way for you to take care of your skin as well. Like you got to put good things in your body and it'll just like y'all, I don't have no makeup on. My skin is legitimately glowing. I have no makeup on. Okay. Like I just did my morning routine this morning. Aside from like, you know, my cleanser, I like to use a rose water spray. And then I also like a good moisturizer. And I definitely needed a good moisturizer here, especially because it's cold in Korea right now. Like girls was freezing. If you see my Insta stories this morning, sis, I was like bundled up, okay? Bundled up, seeing my breath. And I don't want to see my breath in the air. Like, no, no, ma'am. So yeah, it's time to go, basically. So I got a whole list of things that we're talking about today. So let's jump on in. So first of all, I want to touch bases about last week's live because y'all already know, and I told y'all I wasn't feeling the best. Like I really wasn't. I really was in a low place a bit. And one, I want to say that it's okay. Like I was very understanding of where my energy was at that time because, you know, you're not always gonna be happy. You know what I mean? You're not always gonna be happy. And sometimes things will happen and it's meant to give you a moment to reflect because if you're on a low vibration, something needs to be addressed. And especially I was very mindful because during that week, it was the end of retrograde. So I just knew, you know, like part of the retrograde is to, you know, bring shit to the forefront. It's meant to slow you down and then also bring things to the forefront that needs to be addressed so that after the retrograde leaves and the next season enters, you're ready to conquer what you need to conquer. And that's if you're taking care of what you need to be taken care of. Now, if you're in alignment, you don't got nothing to worry about because the information that you are meant to get and receive and move forward on, it'll come to you. Like legitimately, I can't even express this enough how much things just be popping up for me. Like y'all know I'm very mindful of my angel numbers. I'm very mindful of a lot of different spiritual elements that are connecting me with my higher self and with my divine angels and with my ancestors. It's like I'm at a place now where I'm like, I see y'all better. And so I always feel like they're sending me information and I just be listening. So last week, I realized a couple of things after I did that live. I realized I was like, I processed a bit, you know, I was processing because I still was in the thick of it during that week. So I was like, okay, you know, what is really going on? And I really feel like it was a combination of a couple of things like, you know, money and the weather, my family, because y'all know I've been talking a lot about the conversation that I am needing to have with my father. Basically, for my boos on Instagram, my dad, we have some things that we need to heal. And I reached out to him and I basically told him, hey, I need to have a conversation with you. And legitimately ignored my ass twice. Like I said it in a more eloquent way of like, we need to have a conversation. I need to speak my truth and I need to get clarity from you. And he ignored me. He legit responded to me the first time he responded, he completely ignored what I said. The second time I responded to him and I told him, I answered everything that he said. And then I told him, you know, it doesn't make me feel good that you didn't recognize anything that I said in that message about needing to have a conversation. This is something that still needs to happen. Would you be open to it? Still replied and just completely acted like I had said nothing or I had made no request. So that was weighing heavy on my spirit. And honestly, y'all, I still haven't replied. I haven't sent him a return message. I know that I will need to. I just feel like I guess it's not time yet because I'm not feeling any urgency on my end. Like, I know he's probably worried a bit. He might be having, I don't know where his thoughts are at or what he's thinking. However, I know he's probably thinking something and probably thinking where I'm at. However, I just know that I had to kind of take a step back because when I thought about reaching out to him, I never had a thought in my mind of like I would have to stop talking to him, because honestly, that's where we at right now. It's like if we cannot have a conversation to heal our relationship and to get further than this surface level stuff that he wants to do with me, I can't have any communication with him. And I wasn't prepared to have to set that type of boundary with him. I just wasn't. I truly wasn't. So that was a bit of an adjustment for me. And also, it's the holidays, y'all. It's the holidays. And I have to be honest, this year, I'm not going to say that I was feeling sad this year for the holidays. However, I did take mental note that normally on holidays, I feel sad. You know, like being a former foster youth and being in foster homes and group homes during the holidays, it had been rough for me growing up as a child. God damn it, we're not going to cry today. It just was rough. You know what I mean? Like, it was rough. And a lot of times around the holidays, a lot of emotions come up. A lot of things about family comes up. And I know it's not just me. Like, I know it's probably things that y'all are dealing with as well and other people in the world when the holidays come around. And not to mention, you know, the anxiety you may feel being around family or certain family that you may not have the best relationship with. So all of these things popped up. And then also, y'all, I was volunteering with this site called Workpackers. And what happened to our music though? We don't have no vibe. Okay then. So basically, it was a bunch of things happening. It just was a bunch of things happening at that time. And then also I realized that I needed to get clear about some things, because what ended up happening, I ended up having a dream, right? Which I'll tell you about later on. But I realized the reason of why I was even in Busan. And I also realized there's some healing that needs to be done still. Like, I have been doing a lot of soul work. I'm a growth-oriented person. I am always looking to move forward and take my next step and, you know, get to my best life and everything that I'm meant to receive in this life, you know, period. Okay. Like, that is the level and where my mind is often. So it just was like a reminder from my spirit team of like, okay, there's still some things that we're working on, and that's okay. Cause y'all know, even at the beginning of this year, I've been doing a lot of work with my inner child, because, you know, if you had a lot of trauma when you were a child and you move into adulthood and you don't address it, your inner child can start to try to sabotage you, or things can start popping up. And I don't know if y'all remember, like, how over the last maybe, I feel like the last time I had a major shutdown was in Vietnam. Aside from the moment that I had with my computer, y'all remember my computer broke, so I just couldn't, you know, I ain't got no equipment, so what am I do? What am I do? What I do? You know, but like, I was recognizing how I was having major shutdowns, and I just was like, something's going on. Let's figure out you know, how I can stop these shutdowns from happening, which I ended up realizing that, like, you know, I had to observe myself basically, like, what is happening around me, what type of energies are around me, when I'm about to go into a shutdown, what am I noticing that is happening frequently? And sometimes this might look like you're not getting out the bed. Okay, this might look like you not showering, you know, this might look like you not eating, this might look like, you know, it might look like a bunch of different things. I'm trying to think of a couple off the top of my head, but you have to start to observe yourself. And this is part of that relationship with yourself. It's so important. Like, granted, we have relationships with family, we have relationships with lovers and kids and all these kind of things. But at the end of the day, the biggest, most important relationship in our life is our relationship with ourselves. And once you are able to connect with yourself, it just enlightens you so much. And you can't even really be a vessel for anybody else if you don't know yourself. So you really have to take those steps to truly get to know who you are. What's your strengths? What's your weaknesses? What is your triggers? What is your desires? What does it look like when you're about to hit a low point? What does it look like for you when you're in your high place? You know what I mean? And then what do you need? Like, especially when you're about to hit a low place, you know, like sometimes if you can recognize some things that happen when you are about to hit a low place, you can start to do some self-nurturing, which is basically self-care. Okay. And then basically kind of shift that energy. Because if you're about to shut down and hit a low point, it's like your energy is being depleted and you need to take care of yourself. Period. That's just what it's like. Your body is trying to tell you, but if you're not listening, it's going to do what it want to do. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that for y'all. So basically, it was a bunch of things. There was a bunch of things going on, sis. It was a bunch of things going on. I am going to make a video soon. So I will be telling y'all about my Work Packers experience. Now, granted, y'all know, well, I hope y'all know. I think I told y'all about this. I feel like I touched bases on this. I feel like I touched bases on this a little bit about the fact that I was doing volunteering with Work Packers. And I don't know if y'all have heard of Work Packers. So basically you volunteer and then you're able to stay, have free accommodations. Sometimes you may have some free food. It's very similar to Workaway. It's very similar to Wolfing. It's very similar to what's this other one, HelpX. So I'm going to be telling y'all about my experience because as of now, I've done this twice. Now, granted, this last one wasn't my cup of tea. Your girl had to do so. I was like, this ain't my environment and this ain't working for me. Thank you. Bye-bye. And it was so different from my volunteer experience in Salvador Bahia, Brazil. Like my last 2 months in Brazil, I stayed in Brazil for a total of 6 months and had the time of my life and had so much of just an awakening moment. However, this time around with this work packing experience, it was different for me. Like, granted, y'all, I must tell my boos in Brazil, just thank you. Cause like I was very well taken care of, It's a different type of energy as well in Brazil. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like just being in Korea so far, like no one has done anything to me, you know. However, I feel like Korean people can be a little bit cold. They really don't care about you, you know, aside from unless they need to like save face or something. And their working culture is different from Americans. However, Brazil is like, it's like they connect with your energy. It's like they connect with your spirit. Like, it's very known that, hey, Crazy Bubba, what's up? So it's very known, like once you go to Brazil, if you don't hear this from anyone else, you will know once you make it there, because Brazil is the type of place that like the people connect with your spirit, especially in Salvador. So it's like if they meet you, it's like they see you. And then if they don't see you again for 6 months or a year, they will still recognize you. Like they will still like, it's like they're not just looking at your face or just meeting you in passing. Like they truly see you. So even if however much time passes, they still will remember like, hey, you know, what's up? And it's just a different vibe. It's just a different vibe. So be on the lookout for that, because I am gonna do a video about what people don't tell you about volunteering with these type of companies, and just my experience, because it definitely was a major difference between my first experience and my second experience. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. I'm moving through my notes. So also, so basically, April, hello, y'all. I met April when I was in Brazil too, girl. We had the time of our life. Okay. It was so cute. And she's coming to the retreat. If y'all need to be there, basically. Okay. Period. It's about to be everything. So also another moment I had when I was there, when I was in Korea, when I was in Busan and I was having this low moment, I had a reflection, because also the weather has a big thing to do with it too. You know, during the winter season or during the holiday season, the weather changes. The sun may not be coming out as much. Now, granted, the sun came out a bit in Busan. However, I really didn't go outside that much. Like, I was in a low place, okay? Like, I recognize these are some things that happen when I get in a low place. I just kind of need to come back to myself, you know, be in a bit of a cocoon and process, like, what the fuck is going on, Courtney, and what we need to do to heal and move forward, you know? So I had a moment of reflection, because I was like, why are you choosing these places? You know, like, I had a reality check as well, because before I came here, my boo Lisa, so y'all know I'm staying with my boo Lisa, and I was actually planning to come to Korea a lot earlier than I made it. Like, I was supposed to get here more so around fall. Okay. So apparently the things that I packed are good for the fall season and everything. Like, I brought a bunch of colorful things. So also be on the lookout for that, because I am going to film a video of like everything that I packed for this trip. Like, I did a carry-on, sis. Like, I packed very well this go round. All of my clothes are interchangeable, and I brought a lot of bright colors this time. Like, I didn't do the whole all black or all solid colors. I got prints and very vibrant colors. So I will be showing y'all soon basically everything that I packed, and we'll go from there. So before I came, Lisa was telling me, she was like, it's gonna get cold, because I had to tell her like, oh, I'm coming a little bit later, because I ended up staying. What ended up happening was I got to Florida, so I was in Fort Lauderdale, and oh, hey, Angelica, hey, love. So I ended up getting to Fort Lauderdale. That's where I landed at first when I left Brazil, right? And I got there, and I was only supposed to stay a night, because I had like my next flight going to Houston. Well, I hadn't booked it, because I book in pieces. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna just book my flight when I get there, and then I'll fly out the next day. And what ended up happening was that I got to Fort Lauderdale, and it was cute. And I had never been to Fort Lauderdale, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna stay. So I ended up staying, I want to say like 4 or 5 days. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Okay. Enjoyed it thoroughly. And then by the time I got home to Houston, Texas, I ended up staying like I feel like I wanted to only stay for like 2 weeks, but then I ended up staying like maybe 3.5 weeks, because like low key my Aunt B was really like guilting me out a bit, because she didn't tell me, this is why it's important to communicate, because she didn't tell me that she had all these plans. Like, apparently she had been waiting for me to come back so that we could do a bunch of things. And she was like preparing a room for me and things like that, so I have somewhere to stay, which I just didn't know any of the things that she was planning. So she was like, as soon as I was coming back, she thought I was staying for a while, and we were gonna be able to do all this stuff and run the streets. And I was like, sis, I'm only staying for 2 weeks though. So they was like really kind of upset about it, and I was like, okay, I'll stay a little bit longer, but I ain't staying for too long, because I knew it was about to get cold in Houston, and I was definitely trying to avoid it. And then I ended up in Korea, and it was all cool and things at the beginning until it started to get colder. Now, granted, I talked to Lisa before I left and just updated her about like when I was leaving. And she was telling me, she was like, you gonna need some more, like you gonna need some coats and things. Now, granted, I bought coats. Like this hoodie, this thing is like floor length. I got a blue jean jacket, and I bought like a proper, which I thought was a proper coat. It ain't really a proper coat for Korea. And all of these things are layerable. So like since I've been in Korea, I've been wearing all of them together like this with shirts underneath, with this one and the jacket and the scarf, like, okay, trying to stay warm. So the first reality check was when I got to Korea. Something happened. The weather started to drop and it got rainy one day. And Lisa, basically, we were talking about like how long I was planning to stay. And initially I told her I was going to stay 6 weeks with her. Excuse me. And really it's looking like more of like 4.5 weeks, because I already stayed 3 weeks with her, and then I left and went to Busan, and now I'm back. And I'm not staying much longer, basically. It's too fucking cold here. And I realized this affects your mood, okay? This affects your energy. And then I just realized for me, I'm not a cold nature person. I'm not. I like the heat. I'm from Texas, baby. I like the heat. I like to feel the sun on my skin. I like to be in the sand shaking ass, okay? Period. So I just had a moment of reflection, because I was like, yo, why do you keep choosing these cold places? Like, sis, like I really was having I don't know if anybody else does this, but like legitimately when I get to, not even when I just get to a low place, but like the conversations be more real with myself, not even just more real, but you know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, sis, what is going on? What's going on? What we need to do? Like I'm always talking to myself. However, even more so when I'm in a low place. And I had a moment of reflection, because I was like, well, you chose to be here. Because it, like, everything is a choice. You know what I mean? Like, I do believe that a lot of things are divinely happening. You know what I mean? Like, things happen for a reason. It's how you choose to move on that, which makes the difference. And also how you choose to react, which makes the difference. Like, Korea was presented to me, and I chose to be here at this time. This is how I chose to do it. And so I had a moment where I just was like, I realized, like, one, it's my responsibility, because I chose to be here, and I could choose to leave, period. Okay. Like, I don't have to stay no motherfucking where that I don't want to stay. And then I just realized, I just had a moment with myself where I was just like, why are you choosing this? If you know that this is not the environment that you like because of the weather, why are you choosing this? Like, what are you choosing, and why are you choosing it? Why? Like, why? And I just had a moment, and I was like, I won't be choosing it no more. Like, any other time I'm gonna hit a place that's cold is gonna be during their summer or spring period. Like, I just really realized that I don't like it. And I also realized too that if I'm ever in a cold situation, because you can never say never. You know what I mean? However, because you know what? It's a lot. I just had a moment in my head, but I'm not gonna share that. However, basically, I'm not going to say that I'm never going to hit a cold weather place again. However, I'm going to be actively intentional about choosing warmer climates, period. And I realize if I do ever end up in a cold place again, it's like I just have to go even more harder. Like, things that I would normally do to self-care, things that I would normally do to self-nurture need to be like times 10. You know what I mean? And a lot of things go into this, not just like self-caring, which yourself and nurturing with yourself, but also like being mindful of your body, you know, and that's not what that came out. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say being mindful of the people around you, you know, and the energies, because especially if you're an empath, you know what I mean, and you're in an environment that you don't like, and then you have a lot of energies as well, it could be very draining. So it's like you got to be mindful of like what it is you truly desire, choosing that, and then also taking these steps to make sure that like you have what you need no matter what type of environment you are in. So that's what I got from that. That's what I got from that moment. I was like, okay, I realized two things basically. I realized that I was choosing something that I didn't want. Basically, you know, it's like I've chose this, but this is not what I want. I want something else. So let me choose what I really want, period. And I do believe we do this a lot. A lot of times we choose things because we believe we're going to save some money. We choose things because we believe, you know, we won't hurt somebody's feelings. We choose things so we can please somebody else. We choose a lot of things that we don't want based on shit that is outside of ourselves. And that's ass backwards. Like, really choose what you want so that you can be happy. Like, you don't have to settle for anything that you don't want. You really don't. So that was part of my lesson while I was in Busan. And then also realizing that I have another element of self-care that I need to focus on now. So yes. Also, I just wanted to touch base on another self-care thing that you should be doing. Basically taking some vitamin C, but not vitamin C, some vitamin D, because if you're not getting a lot of sun during the winter, especially if you're a chocolate melanated person, you know, sun is so healing. Like, it charges you so much. And if most of the year you're getting this sun and it's charging up your energy, it's making you feel all good and great and things, and then you go a few months without having it, it's like legit, sis, it will change your energy. So you need to be getting that vitamin D back in your system some type of way to lift your spirit. Yeah. Okay, so that part. Let's move on. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes. Hold up. Girl, I got a long list of shit that I got to touch base with y'all today. And I had to write it all down so I can make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, so I already left Busan, but I was planning to do this before I left Busan, but I left already. And I have to be honest, y'all, I didn't do shit in Busan. I really didn't. Like, Busan, you know, sometimes with travelers, a lot of times people believe that travelers should always be going and always be moving and always doing something, and that's not the case. So it's like, that's not what a real traveler does, you know. Like, granted, everybody travels their own type of way, but that's not what long-term travel really looks like, you know what I mean? Like, long-term travel is very similar to life. Like, it's life. It's just, instead of staying in one place, I move around, and I still have to deal with the same things that people have to deal with when they are in one place. You know, like, if you having moments where it's like, ooh, I got to figure out how I'm going to pay this bill. I still have moments where I'll be having to figure out, okay, how I'm going to pay this bill, or what I'm about to do, what I'm about to make shake, or, you know, moments of feeling low. Like, I feel like it's a huge misconception that I be having to frequently reiterate, because I believe because a lot of people don't travel, or a lot of people don't know how, or they feel like they can't, you know, they look at people who are traveling and they just have these stars in their eyes. And I'm like, honey, child, boo boo. If only you knew. If only you knew. So sometimes that looks like, you know, I might go to a place and I might not do shit, or I might get to a new accommodation and I might just chill out. Like, I might not see no tourist shit, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like when you're traveling, you have to stop putting all these expectations on yourself based off of what society says travel looks like, and based off of what people have curated on their Instagram of what they believe believe travel should look like. That shit ain't real. It's not real. So I was in Busan for almost 2 weeks. I was planning to stay there for 4 weeks. And I basically left because I was like, this isn't working for me. And I want to choose something different. So I'm gone. Bye. However, I was having a moment where I was like, "Ooh, I should see a couple of things," but honestly, that wasn't what was meant for me at that moment. I truly believe that my spirit team had me in that moment as well because I needed to reflect on some things, and I reflected. I got the message of what I need to be working on next, and I just was like, okay, cool. So that was the purpose of that trip. So I realized that I will be doing Busan again, but I'm not coming back to Korea until a summer or a spring. This was a nice first entry into Korea. I'm very thankful for my friend. I'm so glad she was here because, like, low-key, y'all, Korea is close to American prices. So this ain't saving me no coins. You know what I mean? And, like, legit hotels and things. Like, granted, just to give y'all a quick comparison, hotels and things in Southeast Asia, even if let's say you're staying at a hostel, hostels starting off at $5. $5. So you can imagine if you pay $15. So you can imagine if you pay $15, you got luxury, period. And let's say you're renting something, because if you're traveling long term, a lot of times it's cheaper for you to rent something for the month if you know you're going to stay in a place for a longer period of time. So, like, often I would rent apartments in Vietnam, in Malaysia, in Thailand, in Bali, in different parts of Asia that I've been to. Even when I, hopped to South America, y'all know I rented an apartment in Colombia, even though I had a horrible experience with my first host. I basically be renting apartments for the most part. It's like, if I'm not renting an apartment, I'm either, staying in a hostel, which I feel like is cheaper for me. And then basically what I'll mix it up between hostels and hotels. So I'll stay in a hostel for a few days, sometimes even a week. And then if I get to the moment where I'm feeling like, oh, I'm tired of being around a lot of people, then I'll go and stay in a hotel for like a few days, recharge my energy, have a moment to myself, and then I'll go stay in a hostel again. So, to balance out. So yeah, I just realized the purpose of my trip in Busan was something completely different. So legit, I didn't do any filming. The only filming that I did was on the train ride down. I'm just kind of even trying to decide if I'm even going to release that or show y'all that. I might put that on IGTV. So if you're interested, and seeing that, you can be looking out for that on IGTV. I don't believe that footage is going to make it to YouTube. So, yeah, I didn't do any tours. Like I said, my first week I was very low, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, I don't want. I can't go outside right now. Like I was in a low place, y'all. Like the first time the only time, like I did go out like twice out of that whole almost 2 weeks. And that was to Chinatown, which was cool. I just did like a little walkthrough. I wanted to see what Chinatown was like, and it was like around the corner from us. I did film there. Y'all might see Chinatown. I did do a little walkthrough video there. And then I went to this place called the International Passenger Terminal, I believe. That place was great to me. Like, granted, it's really like a place where the boats board and people can be getting off their boats, like for cruises or if they own a boat or something. However, it's a beautiful view. Like, the view is beautiful. I'll post a picture of that to the community after I finish this live. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Pic of view to community. Terminal. It was beautiful over there. And then they had like a hot springs, and it was free. So I legitimately had a major self-care moment over there. It was everything. So yeah, basically I didn't do what would be expected of me to do while I was in Busan. I did what my spirit needed, and that was a moment to kind of come within. That was a moment for me to shut out all the outside noise, and it just was also a moment for me to reflect on, like, you know, what the hell I need, because also it's the end of the year, y'all. It's the end of the year, so it's like this is the season to be reflecting on what has been happening this year. What are you still needing to work on? What are your desires for the next year, for 2020? What's your bucket list looking like? And if you're into bullet journaling, if you're not into bullet journaling, I'd highly suggest you go get you a planner. Period. Like, if you don't want to deal with the whole process of creating your bullet journal, you need to have something where you can organize your thoughts, organize your dreams, have it all in one place, notes, events, have it all in one place so you can, you know, move forward on getting what the hell you want. That's what we're doing, getting everything that we want and more. Okay, everything that we want and more. So I basically have already started doing my bullet journal. I've already showed y'all, and I've decided that I'm actually going to start my bullet journal for December. So I'm not even waiting till January. My bullet journal, the first month in it is December. Okay, I'm preparing before the year even start, honey. Get prepared and you won't have to worry. Okay, so yeah, my purpose was very different this go round. So I say that to say, be kind with yourself as you're traveling, especially if you're traveling longer term. Like, don't feel like you got to do something every fucking day. The greatness and the privilege and the beauty of traveling long term, if you're able to live this type of lifestyle, is that you could be on your own motherfucking time doing what you want to do. And if that means you want to sleep, get you some rest, sis. Get you some rest, okay? If that means you don't want to do shit but order in, Postmate that ass, okay? Do what you want to do. And it's so great too if you're traveling without, you know, any spouses or any kids. Like, if you're traveling with spouses and kids, you know, you may have some other people to consider, but little people ain't putting in on no coinage. So this is what we doing today. Let's make it fun, but this is what we doing. We in the house, period. Zaina said, I just got mine yesterday. Where I live, the sun rises after I get to work and sets before I leave work, literally 4:30. Oh no, sis, where do you live? Where you at? What part of the States are you in? And I'm assuming she's talking about the vitamin D pills. She finally got some vitamin D pills. Emily, hey love. She said, hey Courtney, love you. Love you too. Love you too, love. Zaina also said, I just got a bullet journal yesterday too. Yes, I'm starting mine in December too. Yes, sis. Yes. Okay. Bullet journaling is live. I'm telling y'all, I can't hype it up enough, because legitimately, especially if you are a creative type of person. Like, I've always been into planning. Like, I'm a planner, okay? I know sometimes the type of moves that I be making, it may come off like I just be moving spontaneously, which granted, sometimes I do. However, the most part, I ain't making no moves unless I done planned it out and processed it in my head. Now, I might not be planning in the same sense of like, let me look up this and that and what XYZ, but I do have a formula in my head of how I like to feel, you know, in different situations and circumstances. And I weigh the options out, you know, I weigh out like, okay, if I do this, what that gonna look like? If I do this, what that gonna look like? And I choose my next best step. I can't remember who said that, if that was Oprah or if that was Iyanla, but that has really stuck with me. Choosing your next best step. You know what I mean? Like, forget about what has already happened, what didn't go the way that you wanted. That shit is in the past. We are focusing on the present so that we can move into what we want in the future. So what's the next best step? Period. Okay. What's the next best step? Oh, you're in Canada. Girl, why? I thought you was in America. She's in Canada on the East Coast. Hey, turn up. You know what? I heard Toronto got a dope ass carnival. Have you been? Girl. Yes. Okay. Yes. And I cannot pronounce where the hell you said Halifax. Let me try. Is that Halifax, Nova Scotia? Did I say that right? We had an unexpected blizzard yesterday. I was like, girl, next year you can choose to not be in cold places in the winter. Yes. Okay. I had this same moment because granted, like when I first got to Korea, I was loving it. Now, granted, I believe I'm loving it more because I'm with Lisa and I love her. I truly, truly love her energy. Like we vibe really well together. And it's just great being able to, have this time to hang out with her. So I feel like that has made my time in Korea a lot more enjoyable than it probably would be if I was alone. However, once it started to get cold, sis, I was like, yeah, why are you choosing this? Why are you choosing this? Hello, why are you choosing this? So yeah, I'm glad. I love when y'all confirm these things that y'all thinking the same thing that I be thinking, because literally I believe that I'm not the only one ascending right now. I truly believe that a lot of y'all who are following me are also on the ascension journey and leveling up to get your best, everything that is here for you in this lifetime, and we gonna get it. Period. We gonna get it all. Okay. I already told y'all that I still hadn't touched base with my daddy. I don't know when I'm touching base, y'all. Like, I've literally surrendered it. Like, because I feel like I need to have a moment in myself because I need to process the fact that I might not talk to his ass no more. And that is a big thing because he's old and he may kick the bucket, like very much so. Like if you look at him, he up in age. However, I got to come and do what's best for me. And I need to have a moment of reflection with myself first before I say anything else to him, because that whole like just ignoring me shit, that don't work. We don't do that. I don't care who you are. So yeah, I won't be responding for a while. So I'll keep y'all updated on the process of that as it develops, or if it develops, or what. I can't listen to that right now. Now, granted, I want to tell y'all about my dream. So let me pull up the dream, because normally I have a dream journal, a separate journal just for my dreams, because I know a lot of times when you're having dreams, the first thing you do after you have a dream is go on Google and figure out, well, what does this dream mean? And I realized that you can't do that because Google is very general in that sense. So if your angels have come to, like if you're receiving a dream and you wake up and you remember it, there is some type of message in that dream. And you first have to write it down, because during the process of writing it down, other ideas are going to pop into your head. Those are communications. Like if a thought pops into your head during the process of a spiritual practice, because writing down your dreams is a spiritual practice. And if a thought pops up in your head that don't have shit to do with this dream, that is a message. Whatever's popping in your head, it's like these thoughts are not just popping in your head for no reason. These are things that have to do with something of this dream. So a lot of times what I like to do, I'll start to recall the dream by writing it down, or what I've been doing lately is making notes in my notebook. All phones got the little note section. So I'll go to my notes, I'll put in the date, and then I'll put it, my dream, what I'll put, hold up. Because I actually need to find the other one. Dream November 30th or whatever the date is. And I'll just basically start to type in, or sometimes I'll use my voice feature, because I honestly feel like that makes it a lot easier sometimes, but you do have to be careful because sometimes the voice feature may not pick up what you're saying correctly. But for the most part, mine does. So I use it quite often. However, basically, I'll start to write down the dream. I'll start to recall it, like whatever I remembered. Even if I don't remember the full thing, like I'll start to recall what I wrote down. And then if a thought pops into my head, I'll basically put it in parentheses. And then if something else pops into my head, I'll put it in parentheses. And then before I get to the end of this note of like what has fully happened in the dream, or at least what I remember that has happened in the dream, I know what the message is. Okay. So I've basically been having a lot of dreams, a lot. Okay. Like lately, specifically, I've been having a lot of dreams. And this may also have something to do with the fact that I'm fasting right now, which I'll tell y'all more about that in a little bit. But fasting is it's a spiritual practice. So during that time, if you're truly being committed to your fast, you may start to receive a lot of messages during that period as well. And I just literally when I tell y'all, I've been having dreams back to back to back. It hasn't been a night that I haven't had a dream since I started this fast. I've had a dream every night, and all of them I've been able to recall. So I just felt like it was my ancestors and my angels talking to me. My spirit team, they like, girl, come on, let's get it together, because this is what we got to do. Because we about to move into abundance, and we need to be prepared. Okay, period. So basically, I had a dream. That's what I was trying to pull up for y'all real quick. I had a dream. Let me pull it up because I want to be very accurate about what happened in this dream. I think it was this one. I got a couple because I told y'all, today is day 5 of my fast. So I have 2 more days after today. And today is day 5, but literally this whole time I've been having dreams. Okay. I'm gonna read this to y'all. Y'all ready? So this one took place on November the 26th. And the dream that I had a dream that involved my grandmother and 2 members of the sorority. Remember, I just did a sorority video. Now, granted, I didn't release the sorority that I had tried to join, and I'm still not. However, I had a dream. Basically, my grandmother was in it. 2 members from this sorority was in it. And then sometimes I just put little notes of like some of the things that are popping off, or some of the keywords. So like how I wrote it was, I had a dream that involved my grandmother, 2 members of this sorority, a party, a cashier, spiritual person, a baby, and a gay woman. I remember being at a party. It reminded me of Halloween because I was dressed up. I had my hair in 2 ponytails, wrapped similar to Junie. Y'all know Junie, Tiana Taylor baby? Her. If y'all go to her page, she got these really cute 2 ponytails, and she's been like wrapping them with some type of ribbon or something. They real cute. Okay. So I had just seen that. So maybe that's why it had popped in my dream. But that's what I was dreaming. I did see this style a bit before I slept. I know I was at a party, but I never interacted with the crowd. Plus, I believe I arrived early. I remember being in a private area, doing a video, dancing, and just minding my business, which is always me, okay? I'm always doing my own damn thing. 2 people called me. One, I can't remember. The other was my grandmother. I didn't answer, but I remember knowing what she wanted. She must have dropped me off earlier and was passing back through and wanted to see if I wanted to ride back. I didn't answer, but I thought I didn't want to ride because the party was still going and I was just early. I eventually connected with a heavyset girl. She felt familiar. She felt like a member of this sorority. She joined in the dancing on the video. Also was getting ready she was also getting ready at this point. I remember putting on white, especially this white hat that made me look so fresh, even though when I took it off, my hair was really old and honestly looked a bit of a mess for a party, but that hat hit it. And what I have in parentheses was stop covering up the mess. That was very interesting. That's a thought that popped in my head because I mean, we oftentimes we want to be perfect. You know what I mean? And I've told y'all I sometimes struggle with this perfectionist spirit, and I've released her this year. Okay. I released her around, I can't remember if that was the Scorpio moon, whatever moon was popping up during Halloween, because I actually did a ritual on Halloween. And I normally, like, granted, if y'all have my spiritual toolkit, you already know about the sites that I use for rituals. If you haven't seen it yet and you bought the spiritual toolkit, go back up in there and check it out, sis, because literally all the resources that I have used that have come to me since I have began to awaken and since I have started doing spiritual practices and working towards becoming more connected to my spiritual side, I literally put everything in this book. And one of them is a couple of sites that I use when I'm looking for rituals. And rituals are new to me, so I feel like, I'm still I don't make my own rituals yet. I'm still in a place where I look for specific instructions, and then I'll kind of adjust it. So I did a ritual on Halloween. It was a releasing ritual, and it was so divine. It was so divine. I'm telling y'all, the place that I'm at right now spiritually is in such alignment, because every single thing that I'm doing is already on track. Like, part of this ritual was for me to go outside and pick up some piece of nature, like a stick or a leaf or just something, pick it up from nature that reminded me of anything, and to bring it back. And then I had some instructions of like things that I was releasing, things that I was supposed to be writing, and the process of like how to prepare for the ritual, and then things that I needed to do during the ritual. And then after, I needed to go back to that spot and like bury the element, the earth element. And how about, before I even realized that I was even doing a goddamn ritual for Halloween, because it popped into my head afterwards. Like, basically, I had already went outside, right? I was wandering around Pune-Tech. This is like about, it's a little bit after I had first got here, because the first week I got here was before Halloween, and we were in Seoul for Halloween. Turned up, had the best freaking time. That vlog is still coming. It's gonna come this week, y'all, for real. And I basically was wandering to the other side. So basically, it's this station here in Pune-Tech called AK Plaza, or the Pune-Tech station. Well, AK Plaza is inside, but basically it divides half of Pune-Tech. And if you go to the other side, it's a lot more busy. Like, this side is more of an older community, so it's a little bit more quiet, and it's like just a smaller area. Like, literally you can walk in a circle and hit everything. But the other side is just a lot more things over there. And then I was just wandering one day, because it's like, let me go to the other side and see what's up. Because even sometimes if I'm not doing a lot of tourist stuff, I do like to wander. Like, I do like wandering around environments and just kind of seeing what's around. You just never know what you're gonna stumble on, who you're gonna meet, what kind of blessing gonna pop up. Like, that's my vibe. Okay, so I stumbled on this temple, which I actually did a food video over there too. I'm gonna be posting that this week too. So basically, it was a whole green area, and it was like woody. They had like different turns and twists, and you had to walk up all these stairs to get to the very top. But then it was also like little cutaway routes, and it was just amazing. And that's so needed too. Like, you need to have these moments in nature so that you're grounding yourself. And while I was there, I picked up a stick. Now, granted, I always am picking up flowers. Like, legitimately, I like putting these things in my book. So, like, I picked up this flower. I can't remember exactly where. I believe it was somewhere in Korea or maybe in Brazil. I can't remember exactly where, but I do things like this. But I picked up this one today. I like just putting natural elements in my bullet journal. So I'm always picking up flowers and things, but I never picked up a stick. And this was a big stick. And for some reason, I just felt drawn to it. And I just picked it up and I put it in my bag. And then I was, enjoying the nature, having a whole moment. Like, I must have stayed over there for a couple of hours, just wandering a bit. And then, like I said, I ended up finding some food vendors. And so I did a little, like, food haul with like on camera. Y'all see that soon. So yeah, I basically did that. Then I got home and I felt the urge to look up a ritual. I feel like I had saw something because there's a few other spiritual people who I follow on Instagram, and I saw one of them doing a ritual for Halloween, and I was like, It just made me say, and then I was like, oh shit, it's a website. Let me go check her out because I hadn't been, like I said, I hadn't done a ritual in a while. Like the last time I did a ritual, I feel like I was in Brazil. Yes, because y'all, Kelvin, it was a moment, I had to really release him. I was like, I don't know what little tie we got that's trying to keep me attached to him, but his ass got to go. And I had to do like a release. Like I had a couple of moments of doing spiritual practices to release his energy from my energy so he can go on and live his best life and I can go on and live my best life, period. However, I feel like the last ritual I did, I kind of winged it. I kind of like was just going with my spirit, but I feel like the last time I did one with this site, it's been a minute basically. So I get back home, I see something about a ritual, and that made me think, which also when you're having those moments, like some information through another person comes to you that makes you say, that's a message, okay? And literally, I looked on Homegirl's website and I was like, oh shit, she had just posted the ritual for Halloween because y'all know Korea is like 14 hours ahead of the States. So she had just posted the ritual. So basically I was reading through what the requirements, because she basically lists like all the ingredients you need, everything you need to actually set up, because like sometimes you may need crystals, you may need flowers, you may need sage, a pen, a paper. Like she has different things that you may need, and she kind of goes into the ingredients and then she goes into the instructions, and then at the beginning sometimes she does like just a brief description of what this ritual is for. And this particular ritual was for releasing what is no longer serving you, especially old thought patterns, old habits and things, that are in your conscious mind that are trying to sabotage you. So basically I was reading through the ingredients and I was like, I had just went to the park. Her first step for the ritual was to go out into nature. I had already gone out into nature and to pick up an element from the earth. I had already picked up an element from the earth and didn't even know why the hell I was doing it. I just listen. Your spirit tell you to do stuff, great, do it, okay? And it'll all make sense as you move forward. So yeah, I did a whole ritual. It was great. It was great. So yeah, I put in parentheses, stop covering up the mess, and then I moved on. So homegirl is there and something happened. She called someone or something, and I just invited myself to ride, even though I felt an energy of doubt from her. And I put in parentheses, don't assume shit and don't push my needs on others freely for convenience. That's a whole nother moment. I've done this where, okay, so yeah, this was the thought that I was about to tell y'all, but I was like, wait, I feel like it's more to the dream. And I basically said, I've done this where instead of renting a car so I can have free will to go where I please, I put the task on people I know and then get stressed trying to plan and be mad when they don't show up. Cause y'all know when I go home, I normally don't have a car, but I chose last time that I was home that I will not be returning home without renting a car moving forward. Like I will be renting a car, period. I need to get around to the city. That's how I, make my moves and do my thing. So now wait. I don't have to, oh, okay, wait. Let's go back. I've done this. So basically, in parentheses, don't assume shit and don't put my needs on others freely for convenience. I've done this where instead of renting a car so I can have free will to go where I please, I put the task on people I know and then get stressed trying to plan and get mad when they don't show up. I don't have to deal with that. Dealing with that is a choice I've made in the past. Now I choose to get and do whatever I need to remain in peace without needing outside energy. Did y'all get that? Let me say that again. Now I choose to get and do whatever I need to remain in peace without needing outside energy. Okay, sis? Like, you know what you need, right? You know what you need, and you know how your universe operates in peace, whatever that looks like for you. So make sure you're choosing to provide yourself with the things that make you feel the best so that you can be in peace. Like, when you're in peace, when you're in flow, you're just able to do a lot more things, especially on the spiritual realm. It's like, one, if you're in high spirits, your energy is manifesting. You're bringing more of that high spirit energy back to you in abundance, in love, just in every area of your life. And even though sometimes we fall short of that energy, you know what I mean? Sometimes things pop up that, we may need to heal. Sometimes we're triggered. Sometimes somebody come at us sideways and we gotta discipline a motherfucker. But for the most part, we should be actively taking the responsibility of caring for ourselves and doing what we need to do for us and not putting that shit on other people. And I learned that as well. But this was this was in a dream, and I just was realizing, okay, this is something that I need to be conscious of as well. Because it wouldn't be re-popping up if it's like, it's re-popping up because I need to be conscious of it. So what else happened? Okay, so the rest of the dream. So I go outside. The girl driving is a chick named such and such, but I'm thinking of another person that's in this sorority. However, she gets out the car to hug me because she hadn't seen me in forever. She hugs me, and I feel like she's trying to pull me in longer, even though I wanted to let go. One, a sign of off energy, and two, she looks so differently, especially in the eyebrows, like she had lived a rough life since college. Either way, I must have, first of all, I want to go back because I felt like, I feel like it just popped in my head of like, you got to be careful about the energy that's around you as well. You got to be careful about people taking your damn energy, period, period. Either way, either I must have rolled with them because the next thing I remember is being at a small department store, like a Ross or a Marshall's looking type of place, looking for candy. I walked in with the heavier girl because she was looking for a shirt. And I remember someone saying something about going to another club that seemed downtown. So I grabbed some Starburst quickly, standing in line. They had the extra large, and it wasn't what I wanted, but I grabbed it anyways. I had a thought about eating too much at once and having mouth pains for my teeth and jaw work that would be done. When you eating chewy stuff, y'all know that's what I meant. I remember being, also, let me reiterate, choosing things that you don't want, like just getting something because, oh, this is what they have, but this ain't what you want. Like, that has been a very big factor over the last couple of days for me, especially recently too, because I did buy a new suitcase. I don't know if y'all know. The luggage that I had while I was in, where was I at? I had luggage when I came back from Florida. I had to stop in Atlanta before I had a layover, but they fucked up my luggage. Like, Delta fucked up my luggage. My biggest luggage, the wheel came off. My smaller luggage had a whole hole in it, and the actual piece that, like, the thing you pull up, the handle, that hole was almost off. So I had to file a claims for them to refund me. And before they had a chance to send me the check, I was leaving for Korea. So I needed to get a new luggage, and I ended up getting a really cute luggage. However, this one already breaking. It's a Jessica Simpson luggage. I just feel like it must have been sitting because I bought it from Palace Royals. And I just feel like I don't know if people really shop at Palace Royals anymore. So I feel like it must have been sitting there for a while because literally both of the handles popped off. I had to screw them back in, and then half of them popped off again. So I'm actually going to buy a new luggage while I'm here in Korea. I already saw a really cute one and I'm going to get it. However, I went yesterday because I was already in the train station. It's the place that I found my new luggage in is in the train station. And while I was there, basically I had this luggage with me because I'm coming from Busan. So I was like, oh, let me go check and see what the size difference is, which is not too much different, but it's still different enough for me to get more things packed into it. But it can still be a carry-on, which was important for me this go round. Excuse me. So yeah, I basically had a moment where I was checking it out. So basically the one that I want is so cute, y'all. It's all yellow and then it has like this bear face on the front. It's real cute. It's very much Korean style. However, I ended up seeing another one that was there for the first time and it was an all black one. However, it looked a little worn, like maybe they had some kind of like plastic filter on the outside that kind of has been scraped off a bit and just, it doesn't look as new on the outside. However, that one's cheaper. It's like 55,000 won, which in the USD, 69,000 won is close to 67 USD dollars. 55 is probably about 51 USD dollars. So it's not much of a difference between the Korean won and the United States dollar. So basically, I had a moment where my spirit just reminded me, don't be choosing this luggage because it's cheaper. This ain't what you want. Choose what you want. Choose what you want, period. Stop choosing stuff that you don't want because it's convenient. Stop choosing stuff that you don't want because it's cheaper. Like, I feel like that's the message of this live that I'm supposed to be sharing with y'all. Choose what you want. Truly, like, what do you want? Choose it. Tell the universe, I want it. Thank you. It's already mine. Thank you. Don't have no worry in your heart about if you're going to get it or not because it's yours. Just choose it. Like, this is what I want. And I had a reminder when I was in that store because I saw that black one and then I was like, oh, it's cheaper too. It's 55. However, I had to check myself because I was like, yeah, it's cheaper, but it ain't as cute. It look worn as fuck. And this ain't what I want. I want the yellow one. So that's the one I'm going to get. I don't care if it's a little bit more. I'm getting what I want, period. Okay? Period. We are getting what we want. I'm going to find y'all an affirmation too because I got to get us together. Not just for y'all, but I'm going to put it in the community. An affirmation about getting what we want. All of these things will be in the community after this live ends, okay? Oh, Andre Richards. Hey, love. He says hi. All right, is this a girl or a guy? Tell me. Hi, this is my first time watching. Love your videos. I'm glad you made it. Hey. Yes. So yeah, so let's see. Okay, so I grabbed something that I didn't want, but I basically those little strawberries. And I remember being in a line that was crowded and seeing another line that was empty, but the cashier seemed to be performing a blessing on a baby. Like it was similar to how a priest would be doing I can't think of what they call it, but you know, when the babies are first born and they go to a Catholic church to be like cleansed and blessed. It was something like that. Like he was doing some weird stuff, which seemed odd because it's like we're in a store, you know? So the cashier seemed to be performing a blessing on a baby. I didn't even initially think he was a cashier. And what popped in my head in parentheses is light workers are in various fields. There was a narrator speaking about the blessing the baby was receiving. Apparently, he was laid on coils to ward off a spirit of entitlement, as all his new all white belongings were lined up above his head. So just imagine, like, you know how the cashier line is. There's this long like line that they pass the clothes through. It was like they had the baby on it, and they were like doing this blessing ritual with the baby, and like all these new clothes for the baby was also on the line, and it was like right above him, but it was like all these white clothes, right? So belongings were lined up above his head. I remember the cashier walking away, leaving the baby on the coil. I couldn't see something in his head. I could see his head turning to one side as his face turned red, but he smiled. I remember thinking that was strange, that he is not in pain from the coils. Because he just literally turned his face, but it's like he started smiling like he was happy. And it didn't seem like he was on some burning coils, like the narrator had said. I walked back out the line to see if another aisle had the candy that I actually wanted, because I definitely was rushing and didn't fully look. I just took something I didn't really want for the sake of convenience. And then it popped in my head again, in parentheses, stop choosing my blessings based on convenience. I can take my time and I can get what I really want. So I was over in an aisle finding another bag of candy. Then some gay woman comes over talking noise, or at least that's how I took it. It felt like I can't remember exactly what she said, but it felt like she had said some stupid shit to me. And I say she was a gay woman because she was dressed like a stud. This is how I remember her as I'm recalling this dream. And I quickly snapped and said something along the lines of, why are you bothering me? I'm minding my own business. Oh, but I said some other shit about this. This is not nice, y'all. I kind of snapped on her, and I was basically like, I don't know what you are, like a woman or a man or whatever you want to be. And then I walked to another aisle. I took two things away. So this is me processing. I took two things away. She had some interest. I feel like she had some interest in me and didn't know how to express it. Plus, I hit below the belt. Like, that's some shit that I wouldn't say, y'all. Like, I'm not a rude person. You know what I mean? Granted, I will check a motherfucker if they like are talking to me crazy or they coming me sideways. But like, generally, I am a very kind person, very friendly, and I don't be hitting below the belt because I know how that shit feels. So it was a little shocking to me that I had said that in my dream. However, as I'm reflecting, I also said how I react, and I put this in parentheses, how I react is important. Stay humble. And this has been popping up a lot for me too, and some other angel messages of that with this season that's about to come, some things will be coming to test me. And I will be talking about this a little bit more too, about in the Workpackers experience, because basically I left before I said I would. Like, I told them I was going to stay for 4 weeks, and I left in like almost a week and a half. However, when I was leaving, of course, some motherfuckers had some shit to say, and I responded. And I had to process that too. Now, I ain't responding like a crazy, crazy way, but I just had to process that as well, of like how I responded and how I actually want to respond, like when people got me fucked up, I want to respond in a laughing type of manner, but still giving you the business. Like, I don't have to and I don't have to change my tone to a powerful stance. Like, I can rest in my feminine and still tell you what you need to hear about you having me fucked up. So that's the energy that I would like to be in. That was like a moment of reflection for me, but I'll tell y'all more about that when I talk about the Workpacker, like what people don't tell you about volunteering in these type of settings when I do that video. What else happened? So I get in line, which seems like the same line, the spirit line where the baby had just was, because I walked right up to the cashier, but it was someone different because I woke I walked up. I remember wondering if I had been left or something. I remember wondering if I had been left. And this is more soul work that is needed. Basically, that's what popped in my head as well. This was like a reminder that I need some more soul work in consideration to the abandonment I felt as a child. This is linked to my attempt to put my needs on others with something as simple as a ride, and my feelings of wanting to be convenient for them. Because, like, I realized this popped up a lot while I was at home too, of this feeling of not being a burden. You know what I mean? So it's almost like do this, like, take care, like, do this for me because you know I need it and you care about me. However, at the same time, also being very cautious about how I allow things to be done for me just because I want to be convenient and I don't want to be a burden. And I definitely realized that even I had a moment when I was at home where one of my friends was trying to come pick me up, and I just kept telling her, "Oh no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I could take the Uber and then take the bus, and then I'll be in this area and you could just scoop me from there so it could be more convenient for you." And honestly, I woke up and I hadn't slept the night before. I finally woke up and I was getting ready, and then I realized, girl, I done missed like 3 buses. Why am I not allowing this help? Why am I not allowing myself to be assisted? And then, I just had a moment of reflection, and I like low key cried in the mirror. Cause sometimes when I'm having these moments of reflection, sometimes I may be laying in bed and I just may be talking to myself. And then other times I may go straight to a mirror and be like, sis, why are you doing this? What's going on? And then what came out to me is like, I didn't want to be a burden to anyone. You know what I mean? And I believe that has a lot to do with my childhood, because I believe that during my childhood, my family looked at me and treated me as if I was a burden to them, and they got rid of me. You know what I mean? Like they were not accepting of me. You know what I mean? It was not the ideal type of situation at all for a child. It wasn't healthy at all. So I just always felt, pushed out or pushed aside. So I believe that like it's something I got to heal, this moment of like wanting to be convenient so that I'm not a burden, so that I'm not aside. You know what I mean? Girl, I'm telling you, this healing it's a journey. Okay. Things will trigger you, and it just makes you think and process it more, so you can realize, like, okay, what do I need to do so that I can heal? And I realized through this dream as well that, like, I need to focus. Like, I've been doing soul work already. I've been reconnecting with my inner child already. However, I need to do more of that that's focused specifically on abandonment. Okay. What else happening? I'm forcing myself in a situation I'm not fully welcomed or invited based on guilt. And then I work to show them I'm so convenient that it's not a problem, because I don't want them to throw me away. I want them to choose me, when in reality, I have chosen me. I just need to get my inner child on board to unlock the next phase. Those are all the messages that I got from this dream. Okay. So that was where I was at. And it's so true, because I definitely believe that I'm in this phase now where I'm like, I choose me. Fuck trying to be chose by somebody. I choose me. Okay. I choose me. I choose myself. And that's where I'm at. Like, I do believe my conscious mind and my unconscious mind is there. However, my little one, this is what I call her, my little one, she ain't quite there yet. And I need to get her there. I need to get her in the phase of understanding. I choose you too, boo. I got you, boo. Like, this reparenting, I did see, I'm trying to remember my boo name right now. I can't remember it. But like maybe 2 lives ago, one of y'all suggested that I do some reparenting. So I looked that up as well. So I have been, focusing on how I can incorporate that into my life. And I started to incorporate it a bit. So yeah, it's real out here, y'all. This is what it looks like when you are healing from childhood trauma. Okay, so I highly, highly recommend you start writing your dreams down. Like, and you have to do it quick, because last night I had a dream as well, and I basically I started doing this thing where, like, as soon as I wake up, as soon as I wake up, I recall it verbally, like, just so I can make sure I got that I still have all the pieces. But then I'll also recall, like actually write it out. You know, like, you can't wait. Like, if you wait to write it out, if you say, "Oh, I'm gonna do it later," and not write it out as soon as your eyes open, you will forget it. You will forget it. And don't beat yourself up if you can't remember the whole dream. Just go with what you can remember, and then things will be popping in your head. Because even the dream that I had last night, I still got the message, even though I didn't remember all the like, I woke up and I said all the elements, and then my phone was there, so I was trying to turn it off, and then I got distracted, and then by the time I went back to my phone, I forgot the second half of the dream, but I still got the message. I still got the full message. Okay, so make sure you write your dreams down, and then write down whatever is popping up, like whatever pops in your mind. If you think about anything, write it down. Whatever thoughts pop in your mind at the time of you writing down your dream, write it down. It has some type of significance. And then if you have a moment where you've thought of something, you wrote it down, and then you kind of feel like you're leading into writing on into a tangent about it, do that. You know, release what wants to be written out, because dreams are all about healing. Period. They're all about healing. So Thanksgiving well, I don't want to call it Thanksgiving no more. And I feel like this year, I've very much so been having a lot of cognitive dissonance about this, because people been reaching out to me talking about Happy Thanksgiving. And every time somebody does this, I feel like I cringe a bit. So, y'all, I would like to ask, don't nobody tell me Happy Thanksgiving. I would prefer Happy Families Day, because I realize, this holiday is embedded in our culture. It is. It is. And we have a lot of different memories aside from what they taught us about this holiday in books. You know what I mean? Like, we all know the Native Americans were very much affected, and I just can't rock with calling it Thanksgiving when we know, like, that ain't some shit that I'm down for. Like, I don't agree with how they fucked over the Native Americans. I just don't. I don't agree with that. So I do believe that, this is not a holiday that we can just completely remove from our culture, because we've been doing it for so long. I just believe that we look at it different. Like, it's about eating and seeing your family. So Happy Families Day. And I feel like I saw that, because I kept struggling with what I should say back, because I was like, I don't want to call it Happy Thanksgiving. And then I believe it was Ice-T. He put something on Twitter, and he was saying, I vote that we change this name to Happy Families Day. And I was like, hell yeah, I agree. There you go. Happy Families Day. Okay. So as I told y'all, I'm in Korea. I'm not eating Thanksgiving food. I did realize, because honestly, y'all, before I decided to fast, because it's some new shit. I didn't, like I tell y'all, stuff be popping up for me, and I just be listening, right? So when the thought came into my head that I needed to fast, I was like, okay. Okay. So prior to me deciding that I was gonna fast, I basically just was thinking that I was gonna have to. I just wasn't really confident about the Thanksgiving food, like, real shit, y'all. I just wasn't really confident. That's only because a lot of times in other parts of Southeast Asia, specifically in all the ones like Thailand, Thanksgiving was trash. The few times I did Thanksgiving there, when I did Thanksgiving in Vietnam, the food was trash. It's like, Asians trying to remake Southern food, it ain't. I ain't seen them be able to do it properly yet. So I'm not gonna waste my money paying you extra money because it's a holiday that y'all trying to recreate for the foreigners, and you're not doing it right. Like, I'm just, I'm not for it. So I basically didn't have a lot of hope for what Thanksgiving would possibly look like here. So I was like, okay, let's just go with Lisa's lead because Lisa's the chef. And she did say the same thing in the sense she said it was a few places. They were kind of looking into some places to go have Thanksgiving because initially I was going to be with her during Thanksgiving. I ended up going, like, my spirit led me to go to Busan and I went. Okay. So she basically was telling me, it's a few options. I've seen the menu at this place. It looks legitimate. And they were kind of still on the fence of like what they wanted to do. Ultimately, what ended up happening, I wasn't here. And Lisa did cook some stuff, which I will be partaking in after I finish my fast. She made like some macaroni and cheese. I think she got some rotisserie chicken instead of turkey, though. I feel like she did some sweet potatoes and some type of greens. I can't remember fully what's all up in there, but it's some blessings, basically. It's some blessings. And I'ma definitely partake on. I'm telling y'all, at midnight, my fast ends Monday. So as soon as midnight hits, I'm gonna make me a plate. So hold up. I wanted to pull us back up a cute little tune because I like doing that now and I feel like it just creates a different vibe that I would like to continue. Um so hold up. Let me find one. Let's go with that one. I'm actually gonna do a frequency tone right now. Not an actual lo-fi. Okay, so yeah, basically, yeah, because my spirit feels a bit antsy right now. I don't know what's happening. So basically, right now I'm listening to a healing female energy tone. I find these on YouTube, y'all. Like you can put in frequency music and you can find something that'll calm your energy. And if you're looking for something specific for a specific chakra, you can type it in, play around with the search, and you can find something good that you will like woosah with. Okay, so yeah, there wasn't any proper Thanksgiving meal in Busan. I feel like I left the day after Thanksgiving. Like I left on the 29th. Yeah, so I wasn't eating anyways. So yeah, I'm fasting. So let's jump into that. Basically, I had a few things pop up for me. One, I found a 7-day money manifestation meditation. It really just popped up for me. And it's very interesting because it's a guy who created it. But he reminds me he looks very similar to this lady who does tarot readings. And I got them confused. It's like I saw the money manifestation. It's like a 7-day money manifestation. It popped up on my feed and I wasn't ready to look at it at that moment, but I took a major mental note about it. And I remember thinking, oh shit, she doing meditation. I definitely got to catch this. But then when I went back to look for her, I realized it wasn't actually her. It was another guy that I follow that he specifically does meditations, like a bunch of different meditations. There's a couple of people that I watch when I'm doing guided meditation. So I went back because at that moment when I first saw it, I wasn't ready to do it. But it was like my spirit team was saying, like, get ready because this is what we're doing. And basically something just came over my spirit, y'all. Something came over my spirit and told me that I needed to basically fast. Like it just, something about fasting. It's like it truly connects you deeper on the spiritual realm. And then if you're already going to be doing some type of spiritual practice at the same time, it all just magnifies it, right? It just magnifies the whole thing. So my spirit told me to do it and I was like, okay, which I honestly, y'all, I don't remember having any doubt about doing it. And I don't remember having any, Cause I gotta be honest, there was a few times that I was trying to fast while I was in Brazil, and it didn't fully happen for longer than a day. Cause like eventually I went and got some food, or I had something that was not in alignment with what the fast is. Now, granted, there's a lot of different types of fast. The fast that I did this round was purely liquid. So my first 4 days, I only did water. No, my first 3 days, I only did water. And then my fourth day, I incorporated 100% natural juice, like not with any preservatives, nothing, like 100% all natural juice. Like if you can make the juice yourself, that would be even better. And like I said, with the idea I gave y'all at the beginning of this, live is that you can use a blender to make a juice. Like just get you a strainer as well. That way you can still have a juice even if you don't have a juicer, and you can make it a lot fresher, which is even better too, because the longer that a juice sits, it loses some of its benefits. You know what I mean? So if you can make it like that and have it fresher, it's even better. I did have a moment where I was wondering, I just was like, I was hoping that I would be able to fully stick to it. However, this go around, it wasn't hard for me. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if you're not used to fasting, like I've fasted before I became spiritual, not religious. Like I've like when I was still religious, okay? Because now I'm not spiritual. I believe in spirit, okay? If people want to know what I believe in spirit, okay? And I basically fasted a bit while I was still heavy in the church. And after that, even on my spiritual journey to awakening my spiritual being and, connecting to divine spirit, I have fasted at a couple of different times. However, I just remember specifically in Brazil, it was hard for me to stick to the actual fast. Like I just remember always doing something, eating something. Like I just remember going to eat something. Like I would adjust it. So like I was fasting differently. Like I would say like, oh, I'm gonna commit to doing a liquid fast, but then I might go get some fruit. And like I wasn't completely breaking it, but like there are fasts where you start the fast off and you have a meal after 6, or you can just do fruits, or you could just do vegetables. Like you don't have to do a liquid fast if you aren't feeling led to that, or if you don't feel like you want to, you know what I mean? And then also you got to be careful about your health. So if you're taking specific medicines, or just you have specific type of health conditions, you also got to be mindful of that as well. So this go around, I can honestly say it wasn't hard for me. I feel like my spirit team they just really have been supporting me in so many ways. I like truly believe that my spirits, my angels, the universe is all working for my divine highest good. So they knew that I needed to do this fast, and they've just been with me. Like I haven't even been having hunger pains, because like sometimes when you start a fast and you haven't done a fast before, or you're not really, used to doing fast, basically you may start having moments where you just hungry, like you hunger pains, hunger pains may arise, and it's real, it'd be a real moment. And I didn't even have any of that, right? So I just was like, okay, cool. So the purpose of this 7-day guided meditation, because at the same time I found this meditation, this is also what led to the fast. And at the same time, I realized that we're in Sagittarius season right now. So Sagittarius season is a blessing for us all, basically. So if you didn't know, get on tune, y'all. Get on tune, because basically Sagittarius season is a manifesting season, and manifestations come a lot quicker. Like something about the Sagittarius season, it's like it just helps the manifestation process. So if you're trying to manifest a house, whatever you want, whatever desires that you're trying to manifest, it just helps that process a lot more. So the purpose of this specific 7-day manifestation, or the purpose of this specific 7-day money manifestation meditation, oh, that was a tongue twister, was specifically to bring in money. Because also I felt like my mood, I told y'all this earlier, my mood for that week that I was low, I also was worried a little bit about money. Like, as much as I was trying not to worry, because I feel like I've been pretty much in alignment and just in alignment with my emotions, you know what I mean? And just keeping myself in positive light. And that week, it just kind of all just, it was like, surrender, because we coming. We got some shit that you need to feel so that you can move forward. And I was worried a little bit. I was just like, okay, I need to figure out just bringing in more coinage, period. I need to figure it out. So basically, this particular one is to bring in money before your 7 days ends in abundance, you know, because abundance doesn't always look like money. Abundance may look like an idea. Abundance may look like a thought. You know what I mean? Abundance can show up in various ways. It could even just be you walking down the street and you find a quarter. Or you looking through your bag and you realize you got some money that has shown up. So since I've been doing this, I told you I'm on day 5. And basically, day 1... girl, let me go to something happened on day 1. Okay, so day 1, I want to just run y'all through of how the abundance has been showing up for me since I started this meditation. Now, granted, I also was fasting, so I got a little extra, right? So day 1, I had some abundant thoughts about drop shipping, which I've always wanted to do drop shipping. Something just has been holding me back. I was blocked in that area as well. So I had a thought about a drop shipping business, which I will be taking action on today. I also took action on promoting my upcoming retreat and laying out the groundwork for future public speaking engagements. My partner also messaged me and told me she has her half of the money to secure our accommodations for our upcoming retreat, because basically there's a couple of retreats happening. So it's my retreat, and then my friend, she's actually my soul sister. She's doing a retreat the week after mine. And basically, collaboration, baby, is key, especially when you're building. And basically, she's my guest speaker and I'm her guest speaker. And she brings a lot of amazing elements. I'm actually going to share her with y'all on Instagram, because I've been posting a lot over the last week, just sharing tidbits about the retreat, like things that you can expect that you didn't see on the website, because I couldn't list all the activities and all the elements on the website. It just gives you a general outline of what you can expect for the retreat in the website. And then I just went into more detail as I was promoting on my Insta stories of like, these are some of the things that we're going to be doing. These are some of the things that we're going to be eating. This is what our place looks like as far as the views. Because like, honestly, we have a whole apartment building, sis. Like, we not in a hotel. We are in a fucking whole apartment building. And it's like, it's a boutique apartment building. It's cute. I'm telling you, it's cute. It's cute. Okay. It's really cute. And it's super cozy. Nobody's sharing any rooms. Nobody's sharing any beds. Everybody will have their own space to go back to at the end of the night, or even during the day when we have our scheduled breaks, because I also feel like that's important. Like on a retreat, you don't want to be around people all the damn time. Like, you need a moment so that you can actually reflect from the work that we've been doing. And 2 of the apartments, all of them have an amazing view. However, the first apartment on the first floor is like a view of the main like Pilorina area, which is it's just a lot of action that's happening on the street, right? It's always something going on. Like, you may be looking outside your window and it might be a whole drum line coming through, like the Brazilian drum is a big thing, which we're actually taking a Brazilian class as well, a Brazilian drum class, like private class on the beach. It's gonna be lit. I'm telling you, I have so many amazing things planned. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited because yeah, it's gonna be dope. So yeah, basically the first floor is a view of that. The second floor, they have their own balcony, and it's a really cute view of like, it's like above the level, like you still seeing the, I posted a picture on Insta story. So if y'all ain't following me on Instagram, you need to be, because that's where I be posting all of this stuff. However, I can't truly explain it, but it's like you can see a different view of the houses and like the architecture, because the architecture in Brazil is still colonial. Like it's beautiful and it's so many colors and it's pretty. Okay. And then the two top floors basically have a patio as well. Like all of them have a patio, but basically the view from there is like of the bay, of the bay where the boats and things are. Perfect for sunsets, like girl, and sunrises, girl. Okay, like it's a moment. So I started doing things like that as well, because I did realize that I had a little fear. Like I had some fear that was like as I was building my website, even though I'm very confident about the experience and I'm very confident about the people who are coming are going to be divinely picked. I know it's some of y'all who truly rock with me. However, I just truly believe in my soul that the women who are coming, they are divinely meant to be there. They are divinely meant to connect with me. They are divinely meant to, walk this journey with me. It's on another level, y'all. And I'm so freaking excited about it. I'm so grateful for every single one of the ladies who will be there. I see y'all already. It's like I don't see y'all face, but I see y'all already, and I see us being great. Okay, I just see us being great, period. So that popped up for me on day one, and I actually started on the drop shipping. I started doing some research on the drop shipping. What happened on day two? I don't see day two right here. Something happened on day two that I don't quite remember. I can't remember what happened on day two. However, I'm looking at the email, at the notes of, I'm looking at the notes. Okay, there you go, day two. So day two, I started the research process so basically I was taking notes as each day I'm putting in a note in the particular comment of this particular video and addressing or just announcing how the abundance is showing up in my life. And so day two, I started the research process for how to set up a drop shipping business and realized it can be done in 24 hours. Setting up my store today, researching was to increase, I started researching ways to increase my AdSense fund, because y'all know I'm already making money on AdSense through YouTube, right? I did a video about me making money on YouTube, and I shared everything that I felt, everything that I knew, like not even just shit I felt, but like everything that I knew about how I feel like I got to the money to getting an actual check on YouTube. I shared it with y'all. So if you haven't seen that video and you're interested in YouTube, or you interested in how to make money with YouTube, go back and look that up in the videos. Basically, I had a moment because I was looking at my AdSense and I already have been accumulating money for my next check. However, I want to make more AdSense money, because it's like people who making $3,000+ on AdSense a month. And I want to be one of them. Okay. So I was doing some research on ways to increase my AdSense fund. Also popped up, which, let me just say this as well. What I realized, the other way for you to make money on AdSense is through websites. So either having a website where you got something clickable, or if you have a blog and then you can place ads on that. Now, granted, I've been trying to start my blog for a minute, but it's happening now. Like I need to restructure my website, because I had a website out. I lost my website now it needs to be revamped, and I found everything that I want. Like, I found my new website template. Normally I make my websites from scratch. However, this time around I have an actual template that I'm going to use, and it's just everything that I want and then some. And I'm going to be getting back into blogging because I've started the blogging process. I just kind of fell off a bit. However, it's like now I'm at a place where I know how I'm showing up in my virtual life. I know where I'm showing up, how frequently I'm showing up, what's happening in what place. And now it's like, okay, I've had this moment to kind of do, like sometimes when I'm not able to do YouTube, or like in the past when I've had shutdowns on YouTube, maybe I focus more on Instagram, or maybe I focus more on Twitter, or maybe I focus more on Facebook. And during that process, I realized how I want to show up in these areas, you know what I mean? And then putting it all together, because I truly believe it has to be like an ecosystem. Like if you want to build a successful brand, you know what I mean? You got to look at it like an ecosystem, and everything must tie back to your website, period. Like it should all be directing them somewhere. Like if you're trying to make money, not if you're just trying to be on social media for play. If you're trying to make money that truly sustains you and you can actually live off, you got to get a plan together. You got to get a plan of attack. And your ecosystem may look different from mine, and that's okay. However, having an ecosystem is key, because that's basically the flow. Like, what's the flow of this lake, or what's the flow of your ecosystem? Where are you flowing them to? Because like y'all seen with Instagram over the last couple of days, they've been acting funny as hell, and I feel like they did it intentionally because it was a holiday. So they were like, we want y'all to spend some time with y'all family. Y'all been on Instagram a lot. We don't need y'all money today. So if you were a business and you're trying to promote anything, you know what I mean? Unless you have an email list, unless you have a phone numbers, which granted, I've started to build this. I started building, contact with my audience through getting their WhatsApp numbers. If y'all been seeing, I've been doing a lot of accountability activities on Instagram. And part of that process is that the accountability activities take place on WhatsApp. So WhatsApp number must be provided. Okay. And that is like instant access. If you got a number of somebody, you got instant access to them. If you got an email, you got instant access to them. So if you're trying to promote something later on down the line, you could still promote your shit, no matter if Instagram leaves tomorrow, Facebook leaves tomorrow, YouTube leaves tomorrow. So it's like, you got to get yourself in that mindset of like, everything has a reason. Everything is flowing and sending you somewhere. You know what I mean? Even if it's simple as like, click the link down there below and this leads you to Instagram, or click the link down below and this leads you to here, or check out the stories. You know what I mean? Because truly, when you're building a brand, it's like you're in different places. And I truly believe, for me, the way that my brand is being built is just like, if you want to know the full story, like if you really rock with me like that and you want to be in the know, you got to follow me on these different platforms, because I don't post the same thing on each platform. Because I know sometimes people do that, where sometimes it's like they got their one post and they'll post it on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter, and that works for them. If that works, it works. However, that's not what works for me. I basically believe that different things in different areas brings people there. You know what I mean? So basically that's how my shit works. It's like, this is why I tell y'all to follow me on Instagram. So like, if I end up, not posting, like how this last week just happened, where I had a low moment and I didn't feel, I wasn't up to posting on YouTube. Like I just couldn't even, sometimes you hit those moments where it's like, I just can't even, my energy is not in a place where I can sustain this right now. If you were following me on Instagram, you still was able to connect with me though. You still was able to see what was going on to an extent. You know what I mean? Like, I still be posting in other places. So it's like, if you really want to be on the know and connect with me like that, because everybody not for you, and I'm okay with that. However, this is how shit is set up. It's like, certain things are easier for me to do even if I'm in the low place. Like Instagram stories, I can still maintain even if my energy is drained. You know what I mean? Like, I'm building a brand that is spiritually based, that is surrounded on my life and the growth and the healing that I am that I am doing, so that, you know, y'all can be inspired as well, so that y'all can find y'all's examples, y'all blueprints, and y'all's, you know, ways to work through your own, you know, difficulties, so we can all heal. Okay, because we need to heal. Somebody in the family got to heal, period. Okay, so little tidbit for anybody who's out there building the brand, okay, and trying to get to that coin. Okay, secure that bag, sis. Okay, secure it. So what also researching was to increase acid. So I was doing some research on increasing the acids fund, and also popped up was an angel, which my angels did send me an article. More research will be done today. Took more action on promoting my retreat, and today I will be sending out an email blast for the list of people who I have been gaining from my virtual activities. So basically, girl, I'm trying to share all the info with y'all. Y'all know I love y'all, so you know, I don't know who else be giving y'all the energy, yeah, because that's not what I meant to say, but energy, yeah, but also like all the resources. Like I don't mind sharing. I know sometimes people feel like, oh, I don't want to share this, because if I share it with them, it's going to take something away from me. And I don't believe that at all. I believe what is for me, and can't nobody stop it, take it, or anything, okay, or adjust it, period. I'm going to get everything that is mine in this lifetime, and even more, plus what my ancestors couldn't get, okay? So I don't mind sharing, and this is why I truly believe this is so useful, because I'm just a wealth of knowledge and I don't mind sharing with y'all. So yeah, the accountability activities that I've been doing, they have been free to the extent of they have been free money wise. Like I haven't started charging for my accountability activities. In the future, I don't know if that will happen, but in the future I may start charging for some. Well, specifically the accountability activity that's happening in December. It's a lot of things going into that one, y'all. Like literally, I have a therapist. It's gonna be some virtual group calls. We doing some healing, baby. I'm about to get y'all ready for the new year. Okay, so keep an eye out on that as well, because I will be releasing the registration to sign up for that. So it's like you scratch my back, I scratch your back. I'm gonna need an email. I'm gonna need a phone number. One, it facilitates the process of this virtual accountability activity, and at the same time, I can begin to build my email list. I can begin to build my phone number list. You know what I mean? I want to connect with my people, y'all, my tribe. So let's connect. Let's do what we got to do. So initially, with the retreat, my first blast of like the retreat is out was here on YouTube, and then y'all remember the button was fucked up, so I had to do some extra work to figure out how to get the button, and then basically I ended up having to change the whole page design to fix the button, which now it's working properly. So when I got the button fixed, I sent it first to my first list. So I had created a registration form when I still was kind of posting some previews on Insta stories. And I basically was telling everybody the retreat isn't out yet. However, I'm working on putting the website together, crunching the numbers. Because like if you're building a retreat, you got to know how much everything is going to cost. You got to, get all of those details, build your budget so you can, get an effective price. So you can know like, okay, what would be reasonable to charge where people can afford this retreat, and also where we can pay for everything, all the activities that we want to do. Because I'm telling y'all, we got some dope shit planned. Like even on Insta stories recently, I shared a preview of an activity, which is like us learning how to make smudge sticks. Smudge sticks, if you're not familiar, are like sage and mugwort and Palo Santos. But smudge sticks can be customized where you can add things in them, like a bunch of different type of herbs. You can still add sage. You can still add Palo Santos in it, and flowers and plants and a bunch of other things. And it just really gives you a stronger connection with the smudge and with like the spiritual element for when you're getting ready to do your ceremonies and when you're getting ready to cleanse yourself. So it just gives you a deeper connection to it, if that makes sense. So if you didn't know, a lot of times smudge sticks are used when you're cleansing your space. Like, I don't know if you've heard of this. You burn it, the smoke comes out. You walk around your house, you say a prayer, you cleanse out negativity, you cleanse out fears, you cleanse out energy that isn't serving you. You cleanse your space, and then you cleanse yourself. You know what I mean? And then, like, if you're doing rituals, you want to cleanse the energy in the space before you even jump into your ritual. You meditating, cleanse yourself. You're doing some type of ceremony, you cleanse yourself. So it's a lot more effective on a spiritual level, because you get that stronger connection with with your smudge stick. You know what I mean? Like your energy is embedded in this smudge stick if you're making it yourself. Plus, it saves you a lot of money. Like, if you know how to make your own smudge stick, sis, you can start making them yourself. Just pay for your material and be able to just, make it yourself. And then also you have to be aware, because a lot of times when people are mass making smudge sticks, you don't know what their intentions are. You don't know what intentions they are putting into their work. And this is important. This is why when you get a crystal, you got to cleanse it first and then charge it with your energy. You know what I mean? So, like, when I tell y'all, we gonna shake some ass, okay? Because I'm a believer of shaking ass in a circle. However, we about to get our spirit together as well and get the tools needed so that we can fully be an activated goddess. Like, I feel like I'm already an activated goddess, but I know that a lot of y'all are still healing and are still getting to that activated part of yourself. So this is what the retreat is about, helping you do that, period. So yeah, that don't even scratch the surface of what we're doing. It's gonna be dope. So yeah, link is in my bio of my Instagram, and I might post another link after this video in the comments. So if you're interested, click it. Now, granted, y'all missed the early bird special, so that's what I was saying. Basically, I had an early bird special, and the early bird special was extended because, like, it wasn't y'all fault that the button wasn't working. So I extended the early bird special. And for anybody who missed the early bird special, basically it's gone now. It's gone, sis. It's gone now. However, I'm thinking, technically, I was thinking about doing another special, not as much as the early bird special, because technically the retreat is $2,095. $2,095 basically. It's $2,095, and with the early bird special, you would have been able to get it for $1,870. So savings of $225. Now, for the people who were able to secure their retreat at that price, shout out to you. I can't wait to see you. Now, anybody else who has not secured their retreat yet and you really want to go, drop a few prices for the next discount, because basically I am going to take advantage of Cyber Monday. Okay. I was trying to come on Black Friday. However, it didn't happen that way. However, I am going to be offering some type of discount off the total retreat price, just in case, for the people who may have missed it. So I'm not sure yet how much off. I know I'm not going to do up to $225, because it's like, if you missed the early bird special, you missed it. However, maybe $100 off, maybe 150. I don't know. But you can give me some ideas of what you think it should be, and then I will take that into consideration, basically. So I sent out my first list, and that was after the button was fixed. I sent out an email list to everybody who signed up on the registration form to be notified. And then I need to send another one out because I want to send another one out because I have emails for everyone who's on the accountability activities. And if they're in those, I just feel like who is meant to be here maybe in one of those groups as well. And I just want to make sure everyone has the information. So that's what I meant at the end of that. Now my day 3. Okay, so y'all know I'm in Korea right now and I'm about to leave, right? And I was on the fence because I was thinking like, oh, I could go to the Philippines or I could go to Thailand. And I was on the fence basically because I know exactly where I'm going after wherever I head to next, but I was on the fence. I was like, oh, maybe Thailand, maybe Philippines, but I hadn't really made a solid decision yet. So day 3, I found some Thai baht in my luggage. Hello, girl, I got some Thai money with me right now. And I forgot that I had it. I forgot that I had this Thai money. I don't even remember putting this Thai money in my bag. So I found some Thai. So basically I wrote day 3. I found Thai baht in my luggage, which helped me see clearly where I'm supposed to be traveling to next. I also pitched my pre-travel consultations for $70. To 3 of the 4 people who reached out to me about my 5+ years of experience traveling. 3 confirmed they want to book. I sent invoices out to all 3 and 1 paid immediately after the invoice was sent. Plus, I was able to cancel my Prime membership because I don't fuck with Amazon Prime. I don't know why. Like, if I'm not ordering nothing and I know I'm not going to be ordering anything for a while, it's like, why am I paying for this membership? I don't really feel like it's useful. So basically, I asked them to cancel it, and they told me, they was like, oh, we'll just refund you then. And they, not even just for the previous month, they refunded me for 2 months, and which wasn't much. It was just like, it was $26, but still, that is abundance showing up. Okay. Not to mention, I'm also expecting a refund for an Amazon book that I never used for $18 within the next 3 days. Then on day 4, I decided to be a part of Cyber Monday as a seller. So granted, I am gonna post an additional discount for the retreat. If you missed the retreat early bird special and you like, oh sis, but I need to be there, I will be posting another sale for it. Okay. After Cyber Monday, I won't be doing any more sales. So if you're trying to catch it at a different price than the total of $20.95, this is going to be your time to book. Okay. There will be no more discounts on the retreat after Cyber Monday. Okay. Cool. Just so we in understanding. Okay. So basically, aside from that, because I wasn't thinking about this when I wrote this in, but I decided I will be taking part in Cyber Monday as a seller. On Cyber Monday, I will be selling my first physical product online. And I don't want to tell y'all the name of it yet. I wrote the name here, but I don't want to tell y'all yet. That's going to be a surprise. The write-up is everything. I took action and I found a designer to create my unique and profitable design. She'll complete the order on Sunday. So as she's working on the design, I will use the next few days to decide where I'm hosting it and to finish my setup. So once the design is finished, there can be a smooth process to upload and to start selling just in time for Cyber Monday. This is going to bring me so much abundance. Thanks in advance, Spirit. So basically, little preview, because I haven't told anybody on Insta Stories this or anybody on Instagram this either, but I'm offering my first physical product. It's gonna be dope. y'all gonna love it. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. It's gonna drop on Instagram. Okay, so those are all the ways that abundance has been showing up for me over the last 4 days. I'm on day 5 now, so I haven't entered in how abundance has showed up for me today, but I do this like every day up until the 7 days, and then Monday is my last day, which lands on Cyber Monday. Well, technically it won't be Cyber Monday because I'm a day ahead of y'all, but still I'm excited to have some like Thanksgiving food, some family day food. Yes. So, yeah, let's just touch base on a couple of things. Now, yes, I am offering pre-travel consultations, and basically, normally, you know, for all the people who have been like, people message me all the time, like, y'all should see my messages, yo. Y'all really should see my DMs on Instagram, on Facebook, on everything. Now, sometimes people will just send me like one question, and they're like, oh, I'm curious about this. I'm always sharing the information. Like, y'all know from these videos, if you see me on Instagram, if you see me on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever you see me, if you've messaged me, you already know there ain't no lie here, that I always answer everyone, and I'm always giving the information, and I don't be charging anything. However, I am a woman of profit, and I am moving into the season of stability, and that means bitches gotta eat. Okay, I actually tell myself I'm gonna stop calling myself that. Sis gotta eat. Okay, so basically during during this week of manifesting money and fasting, my spirit just told me, like, sis, you got to start offering pre-travel consultations, because sometimes people only ask like a few questions and I answer, and then other times people are sending me very long paragraphs, which I don't mind. You know, however long your paragraph is, send it to me. You know what I mean? I don't mind. Okay, so this ain't no tea, no shade against you. Okay, however, I have done some consultations already that I didn't charge for. I basically I remember, y'all know my friend, when my friend came to Korea, so I was helping her get prepared for Korea. We actually did a video about some of her concerns and some things that she had already taken, you know, some steps that she had already taken to get to Korea. However, while I was home, because I really feel like the quality of that video was quite choppy a bit. We didn't have the best internet. However, while I was home, we had a moment to do that video, but then like behind the scenes of the camera, I was consulting her in terms of like how she can get prepared to travel to Korea. And I met up with another, well, we didn't physically meet. This was like a virtual meetup. It was another girl who was going to Spain. And I basically, this was an ongoing free consultation though. So this kind of truly helped me figure out how to set up the consultations. And basically, she was going to Spain, and I want to say for at least a good 7 months, we were talking, like whenever she would have like an issue that would pop up, something related to visas, you know, something related to how she could find a school, websites, you know, because a lot of times y'all are wanting to travel and you're not sure how you can make your money while you're abroad, how you can support yourself financially. If you're wanting to be an English teacher, how you find the schools, how to get there in the time where they're hiring, because yes, there's some schools that hire year round, but then there's other schools that, you know, are on a academic schedule, just like in America or just like in other countries. And basically you want to get there during the time that is hiring season. And then not to mention things that may pop up with visas, things that may pop up with application requirements, knowing exactly what type of paperwork. And it's different because it's like sometimes you can Google things, but that doesn't mean that the information is accurate, and it doesn't mean that the information is up to date. For example, while I was in Colombia, I want to make a video about this actually, because when I was in was it Colombia? Yes, while I was in Colombia, I wanted to renew my visa, and they didn't really have a lot of information, but the few blogs that I found were about, they were a little bit old, but that's all I had to go on. So I was like, okay, so let me take the steps that they said to get my visa renewed, right? Because you can do one renewal. Like you come in, if you're American, you get 3 months, and then you can do one renewal within a 12-month calendar year. And basically, basically I had everything that the blog told me to have, and then I get to the place to turn in the paperwork, and they basically told me that because I didn't have a credit card, I had to take an additional step that the blogs did not say anything about, and that step was either one, to pay. I can't remember the amount of money at this point. I wrote it down because I knew I was going to do a video on this in the future. However, it was some big ass amount, like 10,000. Nah, that's probably too much. Something around $3,000 to $5,000 was requested. Like, not requested. It was like Nah, it was more than that, because I just feel like it was some outrageous number. I got to go back into my notes and see, but it was an outrageous number, and they were saying that you needed to show proof in your bank account that you had that amount of money, that basically to show proof that you can support yourself while you're here, while you're in Colombia. And then, you know, if you don't have that, then you had to get a Colombian person to come to the embassy with you and to sign for you. Basically, they just show their ID that they're a Colombian citizen, and they say, I vouch for them, and they have to sign a form. And I ended up getting a girl from my hostel to come with me, and then I bought her lunch. You know what I mean? So that, like, coming across a situation like that, like it's a lot of things that pop up as you're traveling, especially if you're traveling long term. And if you're not familiar with this life, it's good to have somebody on your side who is familiar with this life, because even if I don't know what you're needing, trust and believe I got a network of other travelers that I've been networking with over the last 5 years that I can ask. Or, you know, I'm very resourceful. I can tell you, okay, this is what needs to be done so we can find out. Let me do it for you. You know what I mean? Give me a moment. Let me figure it out for you. You know what I mean? It's beneficial to have that type of person on your team when you're about to travel out the country for the first time, or if you're traveling to a place that you've never been to, or if just, you know, you about to go and some issues pop up. So this is a new element of my brand, and I just wanted to share it with y'all. I am offering pre-travel consultations, and as you heard from me reading how abundance has been showing up for me over the last few days, I'm charging $70. And honestly, it's really not a lot, because I know a lot of other consultations cost anywhere from $150 up to $299 and more. I'm not trying to break your bank, sis. Okay. I'm not trying to break your bank. Okay. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in any pre-travel consultations, any pre-YouTube consultations, any type of business consultations, all of those are available. Okay. So just hit me up, and you can DM me on Instagram. You can send me an email. My email is listed in my about section on YouTube, and we can set you up. I also have an additional option to set me up on retainer. So basically, this is for the people who are similar to my friend who was going to Spain, my boo who's going to Spain. This is very similar to that, to like what she needed. So like sometimes, you know, you might be a year out from your trip, or you might be 6 months out from your trip, and you're still planning, you're still preparing. And it's like, okay, the first consultation may be cool for you to get a lot of questions asked, and to just come up with just some structure for you, and just an initial plan of like, okay, this is what I need, you know what I mean? Or this is what I have a concern about at this point. Can you give me some type of piece in terms of how I can get these things done? Because I do realize when people be reaching out to me about some stuff, it's like, to me, because I've been doing this for a while, and it's not even just on travel, y'all. I've been a traveler since I was in CPS. I was traveling from house to house to house. So it's like, I've been doing this. I literally had this moment where I had a moment of reflection of like, I used to travel from foster home to foster home. Now I travel from country to country. So this travel spirit is in me. The resources are in me, and I am your ally. Okay. So yeah, let me help ease your mind. Okay. Let me help ease your mind. And especially for YouTube too, y'all, because I've seen a couple of y'all channels, and I actually am going to be reaching out to y'all, to some of y'all, because I will be offering some YouTube audits in 2020 because I know like a lot of y'all have reached out to me earlier in 2019 and y'all were asking me about graphics. And also recently when somebody was asking me, not even one person, it was a couple of people who were asking me about my intros. And y'all know I make all my intros. I do all my graphics for all of the brand things that I do. Like if you see anything coming from any of my pages, I've made it from scratch. I'm a creator, period. Okay. So I just basically recently, like over the last couple of days, I just happened to be doing a little research, looking at some of y'all's channels, and I definitely saw elements that needed to be changed, whether it's like your banner being resized, or whether it's like, your end card, or your links in your videos, and your links are your setup of your About Me page, or even just the structure of how you're doing your videos. Sometimes you may need some help with that, or maybe you're still trying to figure out, because I know in the beginning of YouTube, it's like a journey, right? It's a journey of trying to figure out how to find what works for you, okay? And basically, I'm not going to tell y'all who, but I did see 3 channels that I'm going to be reaching out to before the year ends, and I'm going to actually do them pro bono. However, 2020, I'll be offering that service. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested, so that everybody can win. It's time to win. So it's like we all in this together. It's time to win. It's time to eat, period. Y'all need to start saying that affirmation. I'm a man of profit. I am a woman of profit, period. I am abundant, period. I receive money in expected and unexpected ways, period. Okay, period. Now, I do want to let y'all know we're almost to the end of the list, okay? We're almost to the end of the list of our of my notes of what needed to be touched on today. Also, okay, I want to mention this because I know some of y'all are like, damn, Courtney, yes, for the money manifestation meditation, you need to send this to me. If you're thinking that, if you are already in the current accountability activity, so the month of November, we have been doing guided meditation. This is the second time that I've done this accountability activity. And if you're already in that group, go check the WhatsApp. I already dropped it for you. So go, if you ain't seen it yet, go check it and get started. Like really, even if you're not fasting, like fasting wasn't something that was required. However, I'm fasting. That was what my spirit led me to do. However, at the very least, if you're interested in doing this money manifestation 7-day challenge, it's in the group. Okay, so go check it out. And if for anybody else who's interested, if you're not in the group, you haven't fully missed out. I'm not releasing this information right now. However, I will be doing a 7-day. I'll be offering a 7-day challenge in December. So basically, the main format of this will be the meditation, but there'll also be some options for fasting. There's going to be a really dope ass playlist to get you in a money manifesting way, of just a money manifesting spirit, as well as, some practices for you to connect with your higher self. So it's going to be dope. So be on the lookout. That'll be released on Instagram in December. Okay. Like this will be available. Okay. So that'll be in addition to our other because basically we're doing a brand new accountability activity in December, but this one is a lot more in depth. It still has the WhatsApp element for like that group connection, that group support. However, like I said, I have an actual therapist because I did a poll on Instagram and I was like, who needs some therapy? Who needs some virtual therapy? Because a lot of us are healing, and sometimes you need to talk to somebody else. So it's going to be a therapist, and it'll be a lot of soul work. This is like a moment to heal and get you in alignment, especially since one is December. It's a holiday. A lot of people get sad during the holiday. And then 2, just the fact that it's the last month of the year. Let's get our mind right before we jump into 2020. Okay. So yeah, that's going to be super dope and super amazing. I'm super excited. Now, granted, I must say, let me say this one thing. This particular accountability activity in December for the group therapy, that's not going to be open to a lot of people. That one, normally the accountability activities, I just put up a registration link, and however many people sign up, that's how many people sign up. That's how many people are in it. However, because I'm offering a therapy element in this particular one, I can't open it up to everyone, just for the purpose of it being intimate, for the purpose of it, not being overwhelming. Like, you don't want to have a big ass group of people and not be able to truly connect and help, and for everybody to be heard, everybody to be seen. You know what I mean? So I want to be mindful of not overbooking or not having too many people. And based off of how it goes, we may be doing this again in January. So we'll see. However, I just want to give you a heads up because I haven't even fully released that I think I told. Basically on Instagram, I reposted the poll results because the poll was like 98%. Like 98% of people on Insta stories basically voted and said they need some therapy. So I reposted that poll, and I told them that it's coming soon, but I haven't told them yet that it's in December. So y'all getting some exclusive shit right now, okay? Okay, so keep an eye out on all of this. And if you are not following me on Instagram, I'm going to type it in the chat. My Instagram is @TheCourtneyWilliams. Okay, go ahead and follow me. Turn your notifications on so you can be notified as soon as I drop a post, drop a story, go live, you know what I mean? So you can be in the know if you're interested in these type of things, okay? So we got that popping. We got those things popping off in December. And it's three dope things happening in December. So one, we got the 7-day challenge, money manifesting 7-day challenge is happening in December. 2, our virtual therapy sessions are happening in December. 3, we're doing a vision board activity, a virtual vision board activity. So I know normally people like to vision board and get magazines and, poster boards and all that kind of stuff. I just made a few vision boards and I realized, well, one, I'm like, first of all, I'm a traveler. I ain't got a lot of magazines and I do not have the space. I just don't want, I don't got time for the traditional vision boardings. However, I realized a formula of how to make my own virtual, an online vision board. So basically in December, I'm going to be offering that as well, which is going to be so great for y'all because it's just going to get your mind in the space of this is what I desire. And then having pictures already to see what you desire, it's just going to be drawing it on in. Because I don't know about y'all, but I feel dope ass energy about 2020. Shit is about to be lit. And I'm so freaking ready. So all 3 of these things, 7-day money manifestation challenge, group therapy session, as well as the vision board activity. All of these things will be happening in December, and they all will be released. I'm not going to say they all will be released, but I know for sure that registration let me just pull up the calendar real quick. I know that registration for the virtual group therapy is going to drop most likely tomorrow. So if you're interested in that, sis, y'all should be following me on Instagram so you can get all of the info. Hello, because we got to get our visions together, baby. We got to get our visions in the right place to manifest our abundance. We just got to get it in alignment because it's 2020 just feels like a winning season. It just feels like a winning season. Also, in the meantime, because if you've heard me mention about this playlist that I'm also going to be offering, because I just believe music gets you in a different place, right? Music makes you feel good. I've already dropped a few playlists. So I dropped 2 playlists that require you to give your email, right? Because sis is building an email list. If you're my tribe, you want to be a part so you can know what's popping, because we taking over in 2020, sis. Now, I also did something extra dope just for y'all as well. If you're like, let's say you already went to Instagram and you already got the playlist, because technically it's not available anymore. I took the link off, but I might go back and upload the link. I might just make the link available for anybody who wants to hop over there and get that free playlist. It's 2 playlists. It's the Goddess Activated playlist that's on Spotify, that whole jam. And then it's the Glow Up playlist that's on SoundCloud, that whole jam. My favorite thing about SoundCloud, like I feel like the playlist on Spotify is doper because, you know, Spotify does like some type of algorithm thing where it just plays the right mix of the playlist at the right time. Like it just flows. The one on SoundCloud, however, is dope as well because Spotify basically lets you still play the songs. Like let's say you've been listening to a few songs like constantly over the last few days or whatever. If you're offline, let's say you don't got internet or your service is out or some shit, you still can like play the playlist even if you don't have internet access. Like at least the songs that you listen to frequently. It's dope, okay? We glowing up, we're activating our goddess, and we get into the bag, okay? Okay, so if you're trying to get into that energy, let me actually write it out to reopen that link, because I definitely closed it because I put it up. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes shit can't be available forever. You know what I mean? It's like you got to get it when you can. But I'm mentioning it again, so I'm gonna reopen the link. It will be on YouTube, not YouTube. It will be on Instagram. So go to my Instagram, click the link bio, click the link in my bio. Y'all could tell I'm getting tired. Click the link in my bio, and it will be there. Okay. However, if you just like, I don't want to do that, sis, or if you already have the playlist, I got something else super special for y'all. Click in my YouTube channel. I don't know if anybody noticed this because I hadn't said anything about it, but it's been there. It's been there for a minute. Click on my YouTube channel, click playlist, and there is a playlist that says Vibe High. However, I might be changing the title of it to Vibe With Me. Either way, Vibe High currently is the name of it. So this one has just a lot of dope ass music, right? That'll get your energy in a good space. And then there's another playlist that I have. It's public. Both of these are public playlists, so it doesn't cost you anything, and you won't even have to give me an email for them hoes, okay? It's my favorite frequency music. That's the title. So it's 2. One is called Vibe High currently, and the second one is called Favorite Frequency Music. So y'all hear me talking about this a lot, that I like to listen to frequency music, whether I'm taking a moment to meditate, whether my energy is like in a funny place and I need to recenter myself, you know, even if I have a moment where I feel like one of my chakras is blocked and I need to unblock it, because we don't want none of our chakras blocked. We want them to be open and flowing properly so we can get abundance in every area of our life. Okay, that's the common theme: abundance. Okay, so if you're interested in either one of those, they are in my playlist. Okay, they are public playlists on my channel. So just click on my channel, go, you know, at the top it has like home, video, some other stuff, playlist, some other stuff, and then click the playlist tab, and then just look through the playlist. I'm gonna say it one more time. The first one is called Vibe High. It has a lot of my favorite music. Not all of my favorite music, but a lot of it, and I'm constantly adding to that one. The second one is called My Favorite Frequency Music. This one, none of the music has words really. All of it is like something for chakras and for meditating and for spiritual alignment. Okay, so check out those. And again, as y'all can see, I'm walking on a spiritual path, right? Like I know y'all can tell. Like y'all, especially for the people who've been following me since the very beginning, I feel like I've always been on a spiritual journey. However, the pull to just reconnect is just even greater. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm starting to crack the code and I'm starting to truly awaken, you know what I mean, and reach different levels. So I just wanted to throw this out there as well. If you are also in this space and you're feeling the pull to reconnect with your inner spirit and your higher self, and you're just like, I don't know where to get started, sis. I don't know what to do, or you know what I do, how I do it, what I do, how I do it. Basically, you need to get my spiritual toolkit. This is why I made it. I made it for you, boo. Okay, I made it for you. This has every single resource. Every single spiritual resource that I have used or that I'm currently using that has helped me get to my awakening, where I can actually hear my spirit team. I see them moving, you know what I mean? Like where I feel like activated. So if you want this is currently available. This is currently available. So you just have to go to my shop. I'm about to post a link to that in the chat. So basically for Black Friday, I'm offering 50% off if you share it on Facebook. So literally you click the link and you just look for the share button. It's not hard to find. Look for the share button and then you click it. It automatically takes you to share it on Facebook and then it'll automatically bring you back to receive 50% off. This is the Black Friday special. Well, it'll be happening from Black Friday up until the end of Cyber Monday. So once Cyber Monday is over, this deal will be over as well. So if you've been wanting to get the spiritual toolkit and you haven't got it, or if you didn't even know about the spiritual toolkit and you ain't even know you needed it until you made it to this far into the video, sis, go ahead and get it, okay? Because that hoe is a blessing. Like legit, okay? So yeah, we got that going. And I already told y'all about the surprise about me dropping my first physical product for Cyber Monday. That is going to be on Instagram. I'm going to try to post a preview of what the physical product is on Sunday, but I'm not making no promises because I'm not sure what time she's going to actually send me the design back. However, if I have the design sent back in enough time, plus enough time to like, you know, finish setting up the storefront for it, then I will post a preview. But if not, for sure, y'all will see it on Cyber Monday. Okay. Let me just hit the rest of this. Okay, girl, we have made it to the end of all we needed to talk about. I told y'all today I had a lot to share. I had a lot to share. So if you made it to this part of the video, thank you, sis. Hey, thank you, sis. Hey. Yes for you, okay? Yes for you. And yes for me, because I'm excited about everything that I'm seeing unfold and everything that is unfolding for me in the future. Okay, sis. I'm excited. I feel good as hell today. So I must go now because, like I said, I have a few registrations that need to be going up in like 24 hours, as well as some that need to be going up next week. I got some things on my plate. I got some things to do. So I'm about to go make that happen. Action, period. Action. So thank you so much for joining me. Who is this? Why? Hold up. I just see some craziness pop up. Yep, we had to get them together real quick. I don't know what was going on with them. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, that was just a little last moment of some craziness. Like, sir, what? So, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. As always, remember, people will stare, make it worth their while. If you missed this live, I dropped a lot of gems. So go back and take a moment. Get your tea, get your what is really going on? Get your tea, get your wine, get your popcorn, get your juice. I love having popcorn, so you definitely need some popcorn and whatever like drink of choice, and go rewatch it. I know it's long, but go ahead and rewatch it so you can get all the gems. So thank you. See y'all later. I'll be posting the next video on Monday. I'm scheduling it today, so it will definitely be coming out Monday. And again, I'll be live next week. Okay, so have an amazing rest of y'all day. Talk to y'all later. Bye.